Gemma.
She can't reach. It's not a Gemma problem. She can't reach. Yeah.
That's never a good plan.
And we're live.
What could possibly go wrong?
What could possibly go wrong if they just fallen off? Good morning. How are you? We'll get there in just a minute. Right. Okay. John.
We had it all set up beautifully.
It was beautiful,
And then
beautiful.
the wind blew.
Something happened. Shall I just hammer it in? I mean,
I'm going to leave it entirely up to you.
Is that right? Bear with me. Good morning. Welcome to Natasha Makes. Potentially Natasha makes a mess right now. But that's all good, right?
No, you blame
That
me. It's
is-
definitely my input on it.
Oh, do we need blame? John, that's what I asked myself. Do we need
That
blame?
is true.
It just is.
It is what it is.
So, luckily I have hammers and things. You know, what girl doesn't, right? What girl doesn't have a good hammer? So, good morning to you lot. I hope you're really well and had a fabulous weekend. What did you get up to? You can start telling me that whilst I, you know, hammer John's quilt into my wall. Nothing to see here.
Should we
Don't-
just leave it there?
Well, always
Yeah.
as a new feature.
It's a new feature. That way we don't have to pin it in the wall again.
Oh man, ever again. That would be nice, wouldn't it?
Okay, I am loving Jane.
Jane
Look
is.
at what
I
she's
know.
doing.
Jane, bless her.
Oh my
So,
goodness.
I
I love off-screen. Hello.
the end of last week was just. We've had weeks and weeks of no fabric deliveries, and the stress that you know could entail of what do we do? What do we do? And then all of a sudden, all the fabric that I've spent months ordering, all starts to arrive. It's brilliant, absolutely brilliant.
But you see,
So-
what you don't say is that when people come to do a show here, you get to look around.
Oh yeah, no,
and
you
you
do
see
get to
all the
look
lovely
around.
stuff hidden in the corners.
Well, I mean, they're not truly hidden, to be fair, because I think you've found them all.
I did.
It's a little thing we like to play when John comes is see how long it takes him to sniff out the new fabric.
Yep.
And you're very good at sniffing out. It's like your superpower. If you had to have a superpower, it'd be sniffing out beautiful fabric.
Truth.
You know, to be fair. I'm nearly there, everyone, by the way.
I do love this quilt.
It's fab, isn't it? This is what we're doing today, by the way.
I know. Oh, is it? Oh.
No, you know, I was telling everyone else. Now, tell me, John, because I don't listen to the news, do we have to still stay a gazillion
I don't
metres
think anyone
apart?
knows.
Oh, okay.
But I do know that you're allowed to legally hug people.
Well, then that's...
And if they've changed that, I don't care. I'm still legally hugging people.
Oh, okay, all right then.
Yeah.
Or potentially illegally hugging
But I
people,
have to
but
tell
you're
you,
still
though,
hugging
I have been
people.
very naughty.
What have you done?
I've been out for lunch 6 times last week.
6 times?
Yep. To my
Well, what-
favourite restaurant.
What happened to the 7th?
We got to rest sometime.
You know?
Caution, but not in the workplace.
Huh?
Was what I read online.
What was that?
You can hug with caution, but not
How do you
Hug
hug,
with caution?
in your home with family.
In your home with family,
Oh.
but not in the workplace.
The fact that we probably like each other more.
Oh, Gemma says we like each other more than
than
some
we do with
families.
some families.
Well, you know, we get...
No, not in the workplace.
Not in the workplace.
No hugging permitted.
I mean, that could be an HR situation. Oh, I'm leaving that. Could
That
be an
sounds like a
HR
Gemma
situation
problem to
anyway.
me.
I'll be here with my clip.
What do you mean that's a Gemma? Well, what, HR?
HR, that sounds like a Gemma
Yeah, that's
problem.
a Gemma problem. So
Yeah.
if you hug her, just let her know that it's her problem.
Just don't lick me.
Oh, no licking. Yeah, just don't lick anyone, right?
I've definitely
Just go-
started a trend with that,
Have
haven't
you? So anyway, good morning. Let's just pretend that's always been up and looking fabulous. Good morning. How are you? I hope you're really well. That we didn't quite start how we wanted, but you know, that's okay. Right, okay, who have we got?
Your hair looks fabulous.
Thank
Did
you,
you get it done?
Weeks ago.
Oh, because I haven't
Probably
seen
needs
you.
it probably needs doing again, but
It looks
you know,
great.
it's there, and it's you know. Good morning, April and Vanessa and Kirsty. Morning, Natasha and John. It was lovely first thing.
Really?
Oh, so yeah, but I think Wellenborough is about to get drenched. Happy May, everyone. Good morning. Ooh, Shushilla.
Love it.
I've never heard that name.
No,
but it's
that's
fabulous.
fabulous.
She says, hello, ladies, and any gents.
Oh.
I'm giving you that. Good morning, Laurie. Good morning, Maggie. Good morning, Leslie. I raced BMX bikes this weekend. My legs are dead. Good on you, Leslie.
Yeah.
I didn't.
I stayed in bed all weekend, except for
you?
going to lunch.
Apart from going to lunch, you dragged yourself
And then I
out for
realised at
lunch.
4 o'clock yesterday, oops, I should do some prep for my show today.
Hey, it all looks good. Good morning to the giggly group, says Pam. It's lovely
Truth.
to see you all. Cannot hug work colleagues. You know, some will be grateful for that. Christine, good morning. She says, good morning, gorgeous people. So, Christine, I have a box and I have wrap and I'm sorting it today. No hugging people in the workplace. Okay, I think we know that now, don't we? Good morning, Alison F. Good morning, Helen. Good morning, Angela. Good morning, Beverly. Have you got the third colourway today?
Yes.
Have we? Oh, good. Good morning, Rebecca. It shows how much I know, isn't it? It just all happens. John's show just happens.
What was Jane? Jane does it. She's so amazing.
Jane's amazing. Of course, everyone that works here is amazing. Good morning, both. I hugged my best friend. First time, says Jennifer. Go for it.
Good.
Go for it.
Just don't lick
Go
him.
for it. No licking. Lol, the tape has come out to hold the quilt top up, says Becky Alexander Frost. I mean, look, I have every form of DIY. If I can't gaffer tape it, hammer it, or polyfill it, did it even need fixing?
Do I need to know what any of those things mean?
No, you don't
Okay,
need to
good.
know. That's a me
right, I've got
problem, not a you
Natasha.
problem. There we go. Good morning, Michelle Moon. Again,
Love.
lots of great names
Really
today.
good names.
Yeah. Good morning, Jane, from a miserable Coventry. Well, I mean, yeah.
It's a
all
little
right.
grim.
It's a little grim. Weather. We're talking weather.
No, obviously.
Weather. Yeah.
I asked my Amazon device what the temperature was going to
Did
be
you?
here this morning, and it said it's currently 4 degrees. I'm
Lovely.
like, oh, nice.
Fabulous.
Lovely
Fabulous.
May day.
The horses are so confused because, of course, they've lost their coats because it's summer, right? It's nearly summer.
Well,
No.
it's June next week.
I know. Next week.
Yep. Week tomorrow.
It means it's half term.
What's that mean? Oh, I don't have children, so I never quite know what the half term
It means don't go anywhere because there will be children.
Okay.
Apart from us, we're going to Legoland.
We can't go.
What's Legoland?
Nope, we don't have
Alright.
children.
You can go to Legoland without
Can't.
children. What do you mean you can't? Do you want to borrow some?
Everybody says that.
What do you mean you can't? Hang on, hang
No,
on.
seriously.
Sorry, we will
As
get some
two
sewing
men-
done in a minute.
As two men, if you don't have a child, you can't go to Legoland.
Who says who?
We've tried to book it, we can't because you haven't got children. It's a kiddie place. And then, of course, two men going, it looks suspicious. And I'm
Oh,
like,
that's awful. But
well, it is what it is.
But Andrew
We have
is just a
enough
big kid.
Well, we have enough Lego in our house.
You
We
have,
don't
you
need
have
to
your
go
own
to
Legoland. Yes, John, you have started a trend. I told my is that mother-in-law?
Mother-in-law.
Not to lick me the other day. Do you
Oh,
know, if
oh,
she
oh my
doesn't
God.
watch the show, she must have wondered, Pam,
What on earth?
why,
I love that.
why, well, I mean, to be fair.
I'm going to get T-shirts made saying, don't lick me.
Amazing. Amazing. Myra says, love the top. Can't wait to see what John is wearing. John is looking beautiful today.
Oh, very kind.
Shashila says it's an Indian name. It's a beautiful name. And
gorgeous.
I do apologise if I don't say it correctly and give it the correct, zhuzh. You see, with Americans and Canadians, they always call me Natasha.
Obs.
Obvs. And it's so funny because working with them and also South Africans, Natasha. And I kind of
Just
like
call
it.
you Tash.
Yeah, it's all good.
Easier.
Got my granddaughter poorly, no sewing today. Oh,
Oh.
Michelle, no. Oh, I hope that she's better soon. I hate it when little ones are ill. They go down so fast, but they come up really quick too. Leslie, good morning all. Can't watch much as I'm packing today. Yay. We'll send you the list later. Oh yeah, so Leslie has got a she shed on the way.
Ooh.
I know. And for some reason thought it would be a good idea to ask me what she should have in there.
Quite right. Love it.
We are gonna have so much fun. So much fun, Leslie, so much fun. Morning, April. Morning, Diane. It's Magic Monday. Yes, Diane, it is. It certainly is. Good morning, Debbie, to you. Looking forward to today, but have to work. So catch up later. It's work, it gets in the way.
Can I ask a question?
Debbie says, no licking, no liking.
Is that a box of K Facet scrap?
Yeah. Get off.
I don't think I've ever... Okay, that's beautiful.
Yeah, no, it's beautiful.
Oh my God, that's really beautiful.
I know. The other thing with John, he sniffs out all the new
I
fabrics.
really want to walk across
You-
there
you
and
wanna
pick
lick
up
it,
and
don't
No,
you?
I just want to show everybody. Can I show everybody?
You can show everybody. Of course
Sorry.
you can
Hello.
show everybody. You have to give a little wave, though, if you... Yeah, it's my scrap.
Sorry, I'll put that down and go away now.
No, it's fine. Do you know what? Half of it Brandon sent me.
That's gorgeous.
He went, Tash, could you use any scraps? I was drooling.
That is gorgeous.
Yeah. Brandon and Cave sent it. It was amazing. Hello, I'm here. Says Claire. Hello, I'm here. Sorry, I'm late. 4-year-old had doctor checkup. All fine. Well, that's all good then, isn't it? That's all good. Anne Atwood says, I want an interesting name too. Yes, but you've got alliteration.
She's got
Anne
Atwood. Atwood's a gorgeous
Yeah.
name.
Yeah. Block 3 kit is going up now, says PT. I got my driver's license at Legoland, says Becky. I don't know what that means,
Becky
but
could
that's
drive.
great.
I thought Becky couldn't drive.
Well, apparently she can drive around Legoland.
She can drive a Lego car, probably.
Oh, that's amazing. Valerie says, just given up trying to watch you on YouTube this morning as it keeps freezing, so Facebook it to the rescue.
Oh.
The bliss of IT life. Do you know, welcome. Elizabeth says the bag is gorgeous. Elizabeth,
Isn't it?
you might need this bag in your life as you embark on your new garden.
Well, you were very naughty and posted ribbons this weekend.
I did post
and
ribbons.
I was looking at the top of Becky in my bag and thinking, cave ribbon on the top of that would look terrible. Would just
Tula
look
ribbon.
awful. Tula ribbons.
Any of the
Would look
ribbons,
dreadful.
basically, because you've
But
got...
in the kit you will get that little goldy pinky one. Because it's Becky. She has to have pink.
And glitter. So for those of you that are new, good morning, welcome. I'm Natasha, this is John, who is just a voice at the moment, well, and a hand. And John comes on the last, well, it's normally the last Monday of every month, but I've got something for you this Monday because it's a bank holiday and
Tell
I'll
me
be
it's
recovering. I can't. It involved PJs, that's what I'm going to say. Yeah, so normally the last Monday of the month is reserved for John, and John is doing a block of the month, which is this. Now, you can buy the complete quilt kit. They are all online, www.natashamakes.com. I got told off because I never actually tell anyone where to find stuff. It's like, this is all beautiful. I'm going to keep it a secret as to where it is. And if you click on the link for today's show, everything, Gemma, so... I love Gemma. We've been friends for over 20 years. And she first came into my business because she used to just show up on the doorstep. This is when you could. And just start tidying my drawers and cupboards. She now works with us. She's the office manager. And she now tidies up the website and tidies up all of that because she's
very good.
phenomenal at it. So she will organise the website, and she's put for today, everything that you will see on today's show is underneath where you can catch the live show to make it easy for you. Now that doesn't mean that that's all we have. Rummage like you do in TK Maxx, rummage, or H&M in the afternoon because no one's tidied it up. Rummage, there's stuff in there. It's true.
It's true.
It's true. That's where you find all the goodies. So do go and have a rummage. It's all there for you. Also, the lick bag is on there. Any bags that John has brought, which brings me to my next point. John has teamed up with the incredible Becky Alexander Frost. Baffa, as she's otherwise known, and each month they are bringing a collaborative bag to air here, which I just love. Last week was the lick bag, and John, did you see that not only have people made the lick bag, but they've made it into cushions, and they've taken that foundation paper piece block and they've made it their own, which I just adore.
Well, I got asked a question about the lick
Oh, you
bag.
got asked a question about the lick bag?
Could I make a smaller lick for
Could you make a
someone's
smaller
mask?
lick for someone's... Oh!
I know, it's on the way. It will probably be coming. If you don't mind bringing 3 things on next time, it'll be a mask as well.
It's a beautiful thing.
It's a good idea.
That's a beautiful thing. And I enjoy that tremendously. Oh, my hammer's still out.
No, leave that. I've got foundation paper piecing to do.
Hammer out. everyone. Morning. Got my hammer out. Right. And yeah, so this is the bag. Now, you can, all of our social media photos of this have got trowels and bits and bobs in. So for your gardening, absolutely perfect. But also your stuff, just your general stuff. And if you're going for the kit with all the fabric and everything, I think it's around the £50 mark, which, to be honest, by the time you've got all those different fabrics and the bosal and the this and the that, you can kid yourself it's not going to cost it, but it is. And
they're 10 fat quarters, 10 long quarters
you're
of
going
the
to have
solids.
stuff left over,
And a metre
aren't
and a
you?
half of the Osnaburg.
Yeah, the Osnaburg is
And
beautiful.
the in-our form as well.
So, and the in-our form is kind of what puts the price, that's 20 quid, isn't it, before you even start. So, a load of you have already started buying the pattern, which is fabulous. But this is going to be the kind of bag that you bring out when you garden. And, you know, it'll have your gloves in it, it'll have your trowel, it'll have your fork in. And you know you're going to have a lovely afternoon in the garden, rummaging in the bushes.
Can I tell
That
you
sounds wrong.
Can I tell you a secret about
Go on.
those pockets?
What?
A cocktail shaker fits in them too.
Of course a cocktail shaker fits in them too.
Obviously.
That's far more fun in the garden, then, isn't it?
Much more fun.
Much more fun. And probably
But I
other
won't
things
tell you
too.
how I know that. And I won't tell you that an ice bucket fits in the middle. And I won't tell you that you can actually get martini glasses in the side. But that's a bit more of a squish, but a highball glass fits into each pocket as well. I won't tell you how I know this.
It's the incorrigible. Go walking, everybody. So that's what we're doing today. The other thing that I just wanted to show you.
I don't have a garden. What was I supposed to do?
Don't have a
I don't have any
garden.
trowels.
Get a window box, love.
It's an 1838 building. I can't.
Do you want to see stuff?
Oh my God, these. Oh,
Right, so
So
when
demanding.
I was at university, I had to do, was it A-level? I don't know. When I was doing something arty somewhere at some point in my life, because there's been a bit of artiness here, there and everywhere, not gonna lie. Bit of artiness, love. Clarice Cliff, who I often call Clarence Cliff and various other things, because, you know,
'cause you
names.
can.
Name's not always my forte. And so when this came along, when this collection came along, I was like, yes. And so many of you have already found it on the website and are absolutely loving it. We haven't started actually cutting some of these yet because the order
That's
sheets
an
have
Inga
only just been.
problem.
It's
That's
an
an Inga
Inga
problem.
problem. I love how we just apportion these things to everyone. Oh, that's not a problem. So I'm just going to build up this scenario for you. So in your life, if you would like to have, you see, this for me looks like horsetails. And I am absolutely going to do some sort of applique that involves that and a horsetail and my Arab mane. Because I've already done, I've already taken Sammy's face, my Arab, who is basically a unicorn,
Yeah.
secret unicorn.
I
And
tried.
I'm going to do an applique. I might
not
share
to.
it with you if, you know, I mean, just look at that. It's a bit gorgeous, isn't it? What else goes with that? Well,
All of it.
It all goes. This is Lewis and Irene. So basically, Lewis and Irene haven't been able to send us any fabrics because they've been on various ships here, there, and everywhere for months. And then suddenly our cup runneth over, John. It runneth over. Do you want us? Oh. And I had to get these as part of as well. Ombrade solids.
Rude not to.
Right. So we've ombrayed those solids all over the place. We've got the ombre solids in purple, red, and blue. If I take the wrapper off.
Oh God, sorry.
No, don't. It's not
Shall I
for
take
you
all
to
the
say
wrappers
sorry.
of these as well?
It's not a problem. At least not for me, it's not a problem. Look, you see, gorgeousness, right? So those go, instead of the bumbleberries, we've kind of done that for you. Although having said that, I do have bumbleberries that will
Oh my
work.
God, they're so beautiful.
You know, because I do. Oh,
I put them there.
did you? Oh no, the bumbleberries are their mixers. They're the
Oh.
circular thing. They've got 7 different colours in them. So they are like the ultimate mixer. So now we go on to sort of the purpley shades. Let's pop these up here. And then I will shut up and give you John.
No.
No, what do you mean no? I don't know the block of the month.
No, but look at the fabric. There's you're going to be
Look at
quite
the
a while
fabric.
because then you've got to talk about this one. Can we do this one as well too?
Can we
please?
just
Which ones?
let's do all of them. Let's just get them all in. Because look, you
Hello,
choose. I know. You get to choose which ones you want. These have got beautiful dragonflies on.
No, but this one.
Oh,
Look at this
I
one.
know. Look at this
Look
one.
at
Look
this
at
one.
this one. Look at this one, says John. And fuchsias. I love fuchsias. It's still
It's
a word
forgotten colour.
It is a forgotten colour, and I can't
look at
actually
this one.
spell it. That's the other thing that I realise.
Oh, yeah.
It's got S's and H's
It's a fuskia.
It's a fuskia, of course it is.
But no. You just glossed over that one. Bring that one back.
This one.
That one. Just
Do you
like
heart this one very, very
heaven.
much?
Backing,
It's
backing. All
Binding.
my quilts. Binding. All
Won't
of
that
them.
be binding?
This for binding.
Well, yeah, this for binding. So this might be Sammy's mane.
Oh, it's just
when I do
terrible.
my applique pony all over Emily's everything.
It's just awful. You'll never be able to keep that in stock. It's just heaven.
It's gorgeous, isn't it? And of course, these colourways will work together because you've got the teals in there, and then you've got your reds in there if you go, which also means that you can match it with the browns that we've just had because you've got the reds in there. This is what they do so beautifully. Yeah, that's it. I am not going to show you the other Lewis and Irene today because John, you've got a couple of things to show.
People don't mind waiting. Can you?
I'll show it tomorrow. Oh, you can show that. You can show
Because
that.
this is terrible.
So,
It's
do you want me? Shall I
terrible.
pop it on the desk so you can see? Right, John. Why seams?
I don't care about why seams.
No,
It's
no, no, no,
Tula
no.
pink.
Why seams?
Yeah.
Because we can.
Of course.
Because we
Look at
can.
this.
I
Look
had
at
to
this.
learn why seams.
Oh, why seams are easy.
Well, I didn't know.
Oh no, why seams are easy. You should
No,
have
no, I
called.
didn't know that.
I was up. You should have called.
I didn't know. I didn't know.
They're
I thought
so
because
easy.
everyone says they're hard.
No, it's
Well,
easy.
apart from you, who's telling me they're easy, but you know, in my head it was hard, and now it's not hard, and now I can Y seam it up. So if you are like me and think that Y seams are something that other people can do and not you,
Well, you are the other people now.
yeah, I know, right? You are going to be with me tomorrow,
Just look at
and we're
that.
going to do this. This is
Curious,
this is the first of my Curious and Curiouser quilt.
It's divine.
Because you've got Alice here. Now, this is based on Tula Pink's, I don't know quite how I feel about this, favourite twin sister.
I've met her mum, so I understand. I've met them, and I understand
How
the
would you
dynamic.
feel if you were the other one?
You need to try harder.
Try.
Having been the non-favourite child all my life, you try harder.
Not laughing. I'm not laughing. So anyway, and I think that's kind of what we're told about the collection. It's based on her favourite twin sister. Bit harsh, but there it is. Try harder, says John. Try harder.
But now I have a question for you.
Okay, go for
You've
it.
done this.
Yeah.
Do you have the other colourway of the faces?
No.
Because if you did the other colourway, you could do multiples of those as a quilt.
Well, yeah, do you know what? You could. I didn't. I've got this one because this was
divine.
my favourite colour.
Oh no, it's gorgeous.
And I went with my favourite bits of the collection
it's just-
because I've never bought Tula Pink to air here. So I just wanted to dip my toe and see how you all felt about it. If it's something that you love, I will just get it. I will just get everything. But this is my toe dipping. Well,
You see, the best thing I've seen with something that shape is people use it on a round table.
oh, perfect.
And they put it with Inseal Bright on the inside, and then they can put hot pans on it and everything. It's gorgeous.
Nice. This is just the start of it. This is
Yeah.
going to be a massive quilt because this is just one block.
It's divine.
And so what I need to decide now is whether, because this is one of my favourite fabrics in the collection, along with the ombre, hearts, spades,
Oh, it's
diamonds,
gorgeous.
hearts, spades, diamonds,
Clubs.
clubs. I was going to say shovels. It's not shovels. I do actually know how to play
Depends who you
cards.
talk to.
Well, get confused, like clubs, what else? Just go to my toolbox. And no, I absolutely adore these. So what I need to discover is when I sew this onto the next block, John, you can help me decide, do I do the same colour the other side so that I have then another diamond?
No, do different
Or
colours.
do I do different colours?
Different colours.
I'm going to have to play with it. I'm going to have to play with it. And this is
And
the
just watch out for
beginning of
your
it.
bias on them.
Watch out for my bias.
Because the bias on those ones can be a nightmare, but I think you've cut that correctly, that you're off the bias on that end. You've done it well. I know nothing about bias. Everything I know about bias, Jenny Raymond taught me.
I love Jenny
Oh,
Raymond.
she's amazing. I love her.
I
tits.
had the biggest compliment of my career from Jenny Raymond.
Really?
Yes. Bearing in mind, she is my shiro, right? She's
She is
my
amazing.
sewing shiro. Anyone that can sew in nipple tassels and thigh-high boots and get away with it and not give two hoots about any of it, I absolutely, and actually know what she's talking about. I absolutely adore that woman. She's phenomenal. And we were both at the craft store / Hochanda. I went to say hi to her afterwards. She's like, yeah, I thought I recognised that voice. She said, and I looked across and I was like, I'm going to have to up my game.
Oh,
I
that's
know,
amazing.
I know. Jenny Raymond said that to me.
She's amazing.
And I just, honestly, I came back looking like the Cheshire Cat from Alice in Wonderland. I was just like,
Oh, she's
Jenny
incredible.
you know, I just...
Love it. That's
I'm
a compliment
still
well
on
deserved.
that.
And the good thing about her is she won't give you a compliment if you don't deserve it.
Oh, she won't take
She
any
won't.
shit. No, she's
No.
awesome. Hello, Geraldine. Hi, Natasha and John. I've just stopped cleaning now. Just done my oven.
Cleaning? What's that?
I don't know. Something other
Stop
people do.
immediately.
If not
Can't be
sooner.
good for you.
No. So my question to you, Geraldine, is: do you have the 60-degree non-slip diamond creative grids ruler, the big one? Because if not, you're going to need it tomorrow. Just saying. John, that's mad. Legoland needs a 21st century
Oh
education.
no, we're not going down that road. Because there are many institutions that need an update.
Hello, can of worms. There we are. Morning, Natasha and John. Loving the shoes.
Did I'm in my slippers.
I mean, yeah. Oh, actually,
I'm in my
yeah.
sleepy slippers. I love it.
I might not be able to hug him, but I can apparently hold
Touch
his
my
slipper.
shoes.
Touch your shoes. Touch
No,
my
I really do.
shoes. They are really good, actually. I watched Snoopy the other day with the kids. It was
You
awesome.
said.
Yeah, they loved it. They loved it.
You see, I get these in Hong Kong from Uniqlo
Oh, okay. Yeah.
because they've always got the best stuff there.
Good slippers. Having a ceiling staring kind of a day, says Karen, trying to get some energy to do some sewing. Do you know what? If you just need to look at a ceiling, look at
Do
a
it.
ceiling. You know, you could watch us. We're hopefully more exciting than a ceiling, but that's all right.
Well, you are.
Kim nearly choked on her sandwich, thanks to you, John. I can't remember. I don't know what point that was.
You're
Rebecca
welcome.
had to buy another Cave Mystery bundle, as the last one was so gorgeous. And again, this is the other thing. I had such a lovely message from someone who bought the Cave Mystery bundles. So I spent a full Friday, Saturday, and half of Sunday putting together over 50 Cave Mystery
Oh, what a
fat quarters.
chore.
I know.
What
I say it
a
like it was an
chore.
effort, right? And 10 mystery fat quarters. Every single one was different. And every single one, I hope I got this right for you, flowed. So that you had some that were different. So everything was different, but that you had some colours that just went, and then some that, as you worked your way through, gave you a story. And that was, and I went back through and I rearranged every single one so that when you pull it out of the bag, if you fan it out like that, hopefully you'll see where my head was at. In a really good way.
And that's back on when?
Oh, they're on the website. They're just,
As I grab my phone.
no, you're coming on to do this. You're coming on to do this. So, Naomi says here, but late, it's okay, I'm still chatting. Morning, Val. Can I ask a couple of questions about the light steam to seam 2? Does the ends fray, unlike raw applique, and also...
But I don't think it would fray itself. The fabric may fray, but the Inselbright, or whichever you, not the Inselbright, the the Fusible won't fray.
She says she's torn between that and Mist Diffuse. So it depends what you're doing. Like, I love Mist Diffuse. I absolutely love Mist Diffuse. I love for everything it stands for the fact there's no harsh chemicals in it, that it's safe to use, that it's so light, and you keep the flexibility of the fabric. And the Steam to Seam 2 is very similar in that regard, but it has one thing extra. One thing extra is that it has a tackiness, which means that when I did my everlasting bouquet, it meant that I could try everything out. I could arrange it, and I could put it up on my cave quilt wall and stand back and see if I loved it, and if not, then it was a bit like fuzzy felt, you know. And so that was why I went with that. If I knew exactly where everything was going, I'll be honest, I'd use Mist Diffuse, because
Makes sense.
yeah. So there we go. That's that. It's horses for courses and all that kind of stuff. I'm going to go and sit over there. I'm not going to hug you or lick you as I go
can do that.
past. Just so you know.
I'm not saying I'm not going to hug you.
I mean, that's okay. I've got my hands full. I can't fight back. No, HP, don't even think about it. No. It's my chair.
Oh, come on, you can share with half pints.
She'll sneeze on me.
She'll what?
Sneeze on me.
I love it. Oh, she's going to find my
It's all
chair
right.
now. Hello. I'm doing a Becky. Hello. Have you ever noticed that with Becky? When you do anything, she just goes, hi. Hi, Becky. She's probably gone.
I don't know. I'll find out. She'll probably send you some sort of wavy emoji.
Oh, is she good at that?
Myra says John's shirt doesn't disappoint.
Thank you, darling.
It's
Thank
fab.
you very much. I try to appear. You know, I only do it once a month, so I try and make an effort. Even though
Well,
I
the
was
rest of the
horrifically
time you're in your
late.
pyjamas.
Oh, God, completely. Completely. So I thought what we'd do today is we're going to recap what we've done thus far, because the gorgeous Gemma is going to have put these all on the website already. So block 1, we started out, was this block over here. And this was our blue colourway, where I got a bit naughty and shoved a pink on the end there as well. So that was our second colourway. And this is the colourway that you can get for the whole second quilt. So I'm not even going to attempt to put these on to hold them. But you can
no,
tell.
don't, because you'll just pull the whole thing off.
Exactly. But you can tell. Oh, we can put them here maybe. We can see.
Oh yeah, no, I can go overhead. There you go.
You can see the colourways on how well they work. Oops. Because I think the blue was my absolute favourite, but I thought the green was so incredible because this Millefiore cave fabric just brought all the colours to life. So that's our blue colourway. I've got a second one of these as well we can do,
Lovely.
which we can put together because I'm going to show you how these all go together. It's really, really lovely, lovely, lovely. And you get to practice your 1/4 inch seaming, which is so important. So that's our blue colourway. If you are going to be doing this quilt and this block, my suggestion, just to make your life easier, cut them all out at once. Cut them all out at once.
You know when you oh okay, hang on. You know when you get outside catering
Yep.
and it comes in those little triangles on the plastic
Exactly.
tray?
These, honestly, you will find your life is a lot easier when you cut everything out to start with.
Prior and proper
leave it on the
preparation.
table and then literally just sit there and chain piece the lot. Because
Prevents
once you've
poor
done
performance.
that, you will then have your half square triangles already drawn out for you, ready to go.
Beautiful.
And then you just piece them together in the order of this. And you can see I've gradiated it from light all the way down to the dark.
Beautiful. Now we have
So-
a question. We have a question. Do you get the full instructions if you buy the full set of material? Janice, no. We always do the instructions separately because it has not been unknown for people to buy multiple colorways. So we never want to assume, and also because some people might want to do it in their own colorway. So we always sell our instructions separately, so you can get them anytime you want. You can download them, we'll print them off and send them to you. You choose, it's your choice.
Now, if you do buy the printed version, I am going to warn you, you're going to get used to a little bit of luxury because someone prints out on the most gorgeous paper you've ever felt. It is
I
so
make
beautiful.
absolutely no
But
apologies
she's
for
also
being a
very,
paper
very, very
freak.
clever, because if there's FPP, she doesn't use that thick fabric paper for the FPP portion. That comes out on a recycled paper, and it is beautiful as well. Really lovely to sew with. So if you do get the paper version, just be prepared that the rest of the paper versions you buy are not from Natasha. You know,
Okay.
just say. The other reason we do the
I said
patterns on
standard.
their
I have
own.
standards, John.
No, but
Standards.
you've set the bar for the rest of us, which
You
is
know,
great.
yeah.
The other great thing is, now I know I speak for myself, there's a little bit of stash out there, just a little bit. So you'll find on the front page of every pattern, it'll tell you how much you need. So you can just go and carve your way through your fabric and pull out bits and make it yourself.
Make another one.
Exactly.
I make multiples of these. They're going to be
Exactly.
amazing. Ven says, hi morning, lovely people. I've been searching through your site on Workshop Wednesdays for Jane's demo on joining the blocks after quilting, but can't find it. So, she says also, OMG, the Lewis and Irene's gorgeous. Well, yeah. Then it was with the block of the month. So it means that it will be one of the first Wednesdays of the month, either this month or last month. I can't remember. I hope that someone can help us with that.
But if you just search on the live, because on your posts, you can actually just go into posts on the Facebook page, type in live, and every live feed will come up in date order, so you can go through there and check where Jane is.
Oh yeah, no, and she has her own page, like all the catch-up stuff on our website. It's all there. What was the other question? Oh, Jane says, morning all. Just stroking the contents of my newly arrived Natasha makes scrap bag, cork, Lisa Chandler, Lewis and Irene, Moda Grunge, what's not to love? Yeah, these ones have been a bit special, I have to say. Yeah, a lot of them have got some of this in. There's all sorts in there. So here's my tip for... We're going to frisk you. We might not be allowed to hug you.
I'm not going to steal it, I'll buy it.
But we're
It's fine.
so going to frisk you.
It's fine. But ladies, no, I love bees. I love bees. I love bees. So I'm just going to do this because I saw it on the side, because obviously it's being worked on. And when you look at this, when you see the kit that we've got ready for you for today, I mean, seriously.
Could you imagine that bag in those? It would be rude
Just
not
dreadful.
to. Because you're going to want to make more than one of these.
Obviously.
This bag is going to make a tremendous gift.
No, but you did that thing on your Facebook where you just took a tiny piece of these and then put the tiny little honeycombs on the side. And I'm
Yeah.
like, it's so simple.
Yeah.
But look at that.
Yeah.
Sorry. I told Natasha that I liked it, and then she thought, but look. It's purple.
I know.
How can you not love it?
We all love it. We
It's
all
you.
love it.
So yeah, I'm just going to leave that right
So-
back where I found it.
Jane, what I would say to you, so for anybody that's got the scrap bags, because all of the scrap bags, is that we've sold so much of the quilted cork, and I always cut it generously, so that means I get left with a big wodge at the end of the cork roll. So,
New iron.
oh yeah, I don't know if I've plugged it in. You might want to plug
You
it in.
haven't.
So what I would heavily suggest is that I've tried to put in enough that you would be able to use it as the base of a wristlet.
Ooh.
Yeah, nice, right? Or also, so these are all on the Sally Tomato website. They all have free pattern downloads on the Sally Tomato website. Have a look. It's in the States. If there's anything that you want, let me know, because I'll get it shipped across when I do an order. But just have a look. And the wristlet, and also the oh God, what's it called? It's like a cord tidy type thing. Just uses the tiniest amount of cork.
Fabulous.
And it's absolutely fab. And I've got it somewhere safe. Oh, it's down here. John, could you do the honours and just show everybody?
Throw it at me.
There you go.
Oh, that's really sweet.
I know. And all you do, if we can go on a close-up with that, that would be phenomenal. Because
Ooh.
you
got a little zip in it.
you pop your little charger in there, and you can have
clever.
one end, and the ends stick out, so it just keeps everything tidied.
Oh my God, look at that.
I know.
That
It's
is
great.
really
Yeah, no, it's a
clever.
really good idea. I have demoed this
Yeah.
months ago when I very first demoed the wristlet, but that is a free pattern download on the Sally Tomato website.
That's stunning.
Yeah, there we go. So if that was my thinking anyway behind, to cut a very long story, it's becoming quite a long story, short, is that that was my thinking. Everybody has enough that has the cork to at least do one of those, if not have the base of a wristlet there.
Fabulous.
There we go.
So all we've got here now, this was the additional, so you've seen the two colourways, the green that we've got on the wall there.
Oh, hang on. Well, they would if I didn't,
Got the green on the wall there. You've
Lovely.
seen the blue that we've done as well.
Mm-hmm.
Now this was the one that we did in our first show. We did it as a different colourway because we wanted to see what it looked like with the black in the background. And then we got the Millefiore in there as well, which is just so effective. Now, if you do want different, if you do want to use it in these fabrics, you have got these by the ½ metre, or have we just got these in the kits?
Can't
remember.
I can't remember. I don't know. I can't remember. I'd be lying if I.
It's all right. But
Have a
that
look on the
is
website,
just
it's
such
there.
a this. You've got all the colours on here on the website in there, and then the Millefiore as well in the case. So you can have a little look on that as well. So if you wanted to just get the patterns as you go, this is a gorgeous colourway as well. And then our second colourway that we did last month was this gorgeous purple, which has worked really well with the silver background. These ombres of purples, which work so well. And then today, because obviously the gorgeous, gorgeous Lewis and Irene fabric has arrived.
Oh yeah, John was straight
I was
in
just
there.
like, yep, no, we're doing the show in that today. And just look at that. So this
Oh,
is
that
going to be our
ombre is
background.
gorgeous.
That's going to be our background. And then what's so good about this, what you're doing is you're going to be making it, this is the blue version that we've got at the moment. You'll see you're going to ombre them down. So what's good, this is going to be our background colour because we thought that worked really, really well. But what's so great, when you're auditioning your fabrics, just put them all down and just lay them on top of each other, and you can see as you go along that they ombre in and out with the colourways.
Beautiful.
And then you end with what is the darkest one. Now, everybody's different. You can do this entirely how you choose. It's your quilt. You have to live with it.
Yeah, do you know what? I would swap the second and the third.
You mean like that?
Yeah.
Which is just what I realised that I put them the wrong way around.
I'm squinting at the screen to kind of get, yeah.
But you can see what I mean now. You're not going to need
Nice.
huge pieces for this. Because the squares aren't that very big, but you can then create
Then you've got
using these
stash.
fabrics. Yeah, okay, a little bit of stash out there, but it is just so beautiful the way that these all ombre in and out, and the colours work so well. And then equally, this purple works so beautifully. And I always think that if you've got your fabrics laying out like that, always take the fabric and put it across it to see if it doesn't work. And you can see there it works really, really well. And we were going to do with the blue as well. But we've got so much blue already, but just you can see how gorgeous that works.
Isn't it? Isn't it?
And how beautifully the red works.
It's not an in-your-face ombre.
It's not.
It's just
it's
a
just a
discreet.
beautiful, subtle.
Oh, hi, I
It's
just,
gorgeous, like,
popped in to
hiya.
say hi.
It's like, woo,
Yeah.
woo. I love it. But I thought the red was a bit too bright for what I wanted to create today. And we've already got a blue, so that's why I thought the purple. And equally, because of Becky Alexandra Frost,
Your fault, Baffa.
Baffa loves a bit of pink, and there isn't a pink ombre, so we can do a purple ombre.
It's the closest we could get.
It's the closest.
Oh, Becca, actually talking about Baffa, she said that was a joke by Tudor Pink. The other twin hates being in front of a camera.
I don't think it is. I've got the standing joke with my dear friend Jo, who works with me. And Jo doesn't follow me on social media. She won't be watching today. First time ever she'll be watching.
Yeah.
So I've made fun of Jo because she has got 2 children. They're both lovely, but her youngest son is my neighbour. And
Right.
He's beautiful. He's one of the most attractive human beings alive. He's
Inside and out.
gorgeous, inside and out.
Perfect.
And I jokingly said to Jo one day, she was sitting on her sofa and she's got both her children's weddings behind her. And I said to her, Jo, look at your favourite child. And she went, huh? And then went, I don't have a favourite child. So since then, I have terrorised poor Jo, saying to her, how's your favourite child? And she says, my favourite oldest child is very well and my favourite youngest child is very well. And I'm like, mm-hmm. So yeah, we terrorised poor Jo. She's so lovely.
I love that. I remember being at my in-laws' house once, and you have those double photo frames.
Yes.
So in their double photo frame, they have a lovely photo of my husband looking very handsome on our wedding day, in his full apparel on one side. What would you put on the other side?
Well, you would have thought the other child doing that. What have they got?
my spaniel in his wedding. I thought there's no photo of me on our wedding day, which I was just...
No!
It's my husband and my spaniel.
No!
Honestly, it
Oh
was
my God,
hilarious.
that's
I don't take
so
offence.
funny.
It just made me giggle because actually Arthur looked phenomenal in his little best
That
dog.
is
He had his
really
little
funny.
collar with best dog. He was best man for our wedding, and it just made me titter to myself. What you doing?
Creative grids rulers confuse me sometimes. I've got to pay close attention.
Oh yeah.
Right. Now, when you are doing this, if you are going to make the whole quilt or you're going to make multiple blocks,
Yes.
just cut your strips. It's just so much easier. And when you go off the end, make sure you trim your selvagers. Perfect.
I've got a whole bag now, a whole massive bag behind for scraps because I'd sew so much
Yeah.
that I'm just going to get a great big bag.
Got to be done.
Yep. Oh, morning, Ellie B. How you doing? Oh, yeah, so did you eau de coat this bag or did you suggest that it might
We
be a good
haven't
one?
eau de coated it, but everybody said to me, a cream bag for the garden, are you mad? And I'm like, no, obviously you just use the gorgeous eau de coat.
And that's okay.
And people are like, oh.
We love a bit
And
of eau
I'm
de coat.
reliably informed by the gorgeous Gemma that eau de coat is in stock.
Of course. And when it gets out of stock, we'll get more.
Exactly.
And behind Natasha and John, says Susan.
Hi,
Just bought the
Susan.
bag pattern. It will be so brill and my mum will love it when I've done it.
Now, will your mother be using it with cocktail shakers or with garden tools?
I think maybe...
That's the real question.
Well, let's do both.
Well, no. We haven't finished yet.
Oh, okay.
You'll see.
She can plant a stick and have a tree. I plant a stick and I still have a stick.
Well, that's what I'm so excited about the new house, is that we will have a garden.
I was just about to say I have brown fingers rather than green fingers and then realised
Yeah, but you've
that
got
sounded-
ponies. You can do what you like. You've got ponies.
Yeah, I've got ponies.
I love your ponies. I got to meet your ponies last time I was here.
Oh, you got to meet some of them, yeah. So Emily the other day was standing there and she got really upset.
Why?
Emily, what's the matter? She'd been feeding Sausage, her little miniature Shetland. I said, Mummy, Sausage sad he doesn't have his mummy.
Sausage doesn't have his mummy.
Yeah, he's
What?
19 years old. He hasn't had his mummy for 18 years.
Bless him.
But she was really upset that Sausage didn't have his mummy. And part of me was like, how sweet that, you know, she
I
feels everybody
know.
needs their mummy. But yeah.
Aw.
So where does she even get that from?
Wasn't me.
Becky says John has no stash. Honest, Andrew. Yeah.
Well, you see, now we're going through a bit of a crisis in my studio
Right.
because I have to make a decision whether I'm staying or going because of bits and bobs going on.
Yeah.
And it's been very wisely suggested that I take all of my personal stuff out of the shop and the shop be a shop. And I'm like,
What?
That just like makes sense. I can't do that. That's just like sensible
Yeah, but then where do you put it?
in my new house.
Oh, well, yeah, I mean, that does make sense.
Yeah.
So, yeah, then Andrew will know.
oh no, Andrew knows. He
That's
knows.
great.
Even
Did
if
you
he's...
want astrology, by the way, to do
No,
with?
no, I'm good.
Yeah, okay. Oh, Lorraine
Why
says...
would you make your life easy for yourself?
Well, I don't
Like,
know.
hello?
I imagine. Lorraine says, I've got the lick bag kit.
Woo!
Can you tell me, when doing foundation paper piecing, what is the best stitch length to use, please?
So on my baby Janome, I use 1.5.
Okay.
The tip is do a couple of testings. You will find that if you stitch on the paper and your paper still holds together, that's fine. But if you stitch on the paper and your paper's falling apart, that's not fine. So it's that fine line between it. For me, that's 1.5.
Okay.
So you do what works best for you, but for me it was 1.5.
Um,
Oh, and while you're doing
Oh.
that, if you ever unpick and you've torn the paper, start again. because you need the papers in place.
Okay. Claire said, going back to paper, 10 years ago, I cheekily asked my employer, an insurance company, if they could print my wedding pictures. I offered to pay for the paper. They said, not needed. Not only did they print my pictures, they printed 4 copies each on quality card. Do you know what? That's the sort of thing nice people do.
That is true.
And that is good. Geraldine says, oh, John, it's great to see you looking so well and relaxed.
Oh, thank you. I've had a holiday. And I sent my lovely ladies a message last night because obviously I've had a holiday and, well, by holiday I just mean I've laid in my bed and done nothing. I sent them a message saying, if I decide to take a holiday again, please remind me that I need to not take the Friday before Natasha off, because I was sitting doing my sampling last night and thinking, oh, I want to go to bed, I'm so tired.
Oh.
But it's my own fault because I did meant to do it on Friday and then I went for lunch instead.
Janice bought the first month's pattern and material, but the pattern didn't tell her what size she had to cut out the pattern pieces.
No. Which pattern pieces?
Well, we need to get to the bottom of this, and we can sort this out for you, Janice. That's no
Please,
problem.
yeah, Janice, that's the...
Because she said, you know, as a beginner...
No, you need to know the pattern pieces. But
absolutely.
There's 3 pages of cutting plan, 2-3 pages with pictures of what size to cut them out and... And are you talking about the pattern for the bag?
I don't know. Well, Janice...
It might be for the bag, in which case the FPP... there is no set size. People do it differently for FPP because a lot of people want to be very cautious with the amount of fabric that they're using. So a lot of people don't cut, they don't like dimensions for the foundation paper piecing because you've got to, I say you cut it as big as possible. So if the piece that you're doing is that size, for example, I personally would be cutting a 2-inch square and using scrap, but people who are more advanced on it would be able to cut that out as a 1-inch by 1/2-inch piece.
So what I'm going to say, Janice, because we don't want you to struggle at all.
No, definitely not. Contact me.
Yeah.
Drop me a line. I'll absolutely, because I can go through each piece and give you suggestions on it. Absolutely.
And how does she contact you, John?
So best place is social media. If you look on www.facebook.com, that's the easiest way. .com/beginnerquilt. There's a message button there. Drop me a message and I'll happily go through that with you, because with FPP we can't put down, we can put down sizes, but it's just everybody is at different stages in their FPP journey. And you'll find that as you go along, you'll be more and more cautious with your fabric and you'll cut smaller pieces and then make bigger mistakes because you haven't cut a big enough piece. Ask Sylvia.
Elizabeth.
She messaged me over the weekend and she's like, every time I do this, I hear your voice saying, cut a bigger piece, and I ignore you every time, and then I unpick.
Oops. Oops.
But yeah, please, as a beginner, if any of you've got any questions on the patterns, just drop me a line. Happy to help. And if there are a few of you asking the same question, I'll just do a little live feed as to what the best size is. So just let me know if there are any questions.
And we mean this. This isn't just lip service.
No, not at all.
We're not going to sell you something it's not okay for you to struggle, because that's not what this is
Not at
about.
all.
We are all about everybody's learning.
Exactly.
I had a lady, whatever stage you're at.
I had a lady who bought a pattern from me in June of 2019. She bought one of my Bargello patterns off Hochanda, and she messaged me, and I was like, she said, I bought Bargello number 2, and I'm like, you're going to need to send me a picture. And we did a video call for about 15 minutes on what she needed to ask. So please, you must never worry about contacting me. You must. Because honestly, I'll sit with you and help with the greatest of pleasure. There's no charge on it. I just want you to make sure that you've got the piece, that you're happy in how to do it. So never worry about contacting me. It may take a day or 2 to get back to you, but I promise I will always get back to you.
Oh, that's lovely. Thank you. Elizabeth, thanks. I hear that, Mother Duck. That's a big compliment for me. Sam says, hi, Natasha and John. I spy on you. Ergonomic rotary cutter. Are you planning to sell them? Sam, I sold them. They sold out. I'm trying to get more.
The prim one?
Yeah. Shad, is there anything special about them? Oh, they cut like an absolute dream for a start. The feel of them, how they hold in your hand is, well, it's there. You can still use it. Is phenomenal. The only thing I would say, and I'm getting hold of these as well, is that they do take a different rotary blade. I don't know how I feel about that. Because
I feel okay about that because I think if you find a device that works for you,
yeah,
and it really does work for you, I wouldn't mind buying the extra blade. And
Yeah,
having
I
it
would
unique
just say-
means it works better.
stock up,
Oh God, yeah.
because I don't want you to be. I'll try and carry them. I'll try and carry them. We'll find a space in the warehouse for them.
That's an Inga problem.
It's an Inga She loves that. She loves an Inga problem. Alison says,
Oh, look at that.
I've ordered
at
the
that,
Lewis
that's
and
all I've
Iron
got left.
reflections in the warm tones.
Tiny little bit.
Oh,
Teeny, teeny,
satisfying. How satisfying. Oh, Christine's popping to the shop. Good girl.
What are you going to buy me?
So John rocks up this morning with
3 cakes.
I know.
Well, it's all for the ladies. I never come in with cakes. I thought, oh, today's the day.
Today's the day. Would you like to tell us what you're doing there, John?
So all I'm doing now is, per the pattern sizing, I am cutting out the squares, and then I'm cutting them into half square triangles. Now, I know a lot of you will be saying, oh, you could use the Magic 8 method and you can cut these out. Blast, excuse my language. That was not what I wanted to say. You all know what I wanted to say. You all would have said it too. Poop.
Was that I don't
That
feel
wasn't
like
what I was
that's
gonna say
still
either.
what you wanted to say either.
I forgot what I was going to say now. What were we saying, Natasha?
Poop is what stays with me. Oh yeah, there's lots of different methods.
Yes, so the Magic 8 method, you would be able to do it, but that would be far too easy. And for this, I think you've just got to be very, very careful with, I think it's important, especially when you're a beginner, you're going to give this a go and try with some scrap fabric with a couple of them first, because I think it is so important that as quilters that you are able to do half square triangles, because it's one of those death-defyingly gorgeous arts that when you get it right, your quilts just look so spectacular. So it's really, really, really important that you get it right the first time. Right, Natasha, what was the way that we agreed we were going to do this? Come on now, you remember.
I have absolutely no idea. I'm just so thrilled because Jojo says, Tash, I finally started my quilting journey last week. I went to a local
Yay!
quilt shop to learn how to make a Manx roof pattern block. I don't know what that
How
is, but that's great.
divine!
Also known as a Manx log cabin. Oh, now I know.
Congratulations!
All done by hand and
By
traditionally.
hand?
Yeah, I know.
Wow.
You even use your hand span and finger lengths for the measurements. So pleased with it. Lovely to learn a local traditional skill. That sounds
fabulous.
phenomenal. And you know what? Making quilts our way is going to be so much easier for you.
Exactly.
Well,
you can only
this
go
is
up. That's
looking a bit
amazing, though.
gorgeous. So I am proud of you, Jojo, because
Well
that takes a
done.
lot, doesn't it? You stepped outside your comfort zone. You went and did something new. You chose to do that, and that's phenomenal. Well done.
And you won't look back.
No, sorry, you've got the bug now. Sorry, not sorry. What's the matter, John?
I'd be
Was there
dangerous.
actually a snort?
I'd be
there?
dangerous if I actually paid attention.
Steady.
I'd be
Steady.
dangerous. There we go.
Now, you see, Geraldine says she's hopeless at FPP. This is why we're
Why?
bringing John, because I am too, but she loves the bag.
Oh no, FPP is amazing.
Right, John, here's the thing. If you don't want to FPP round that bag, can you just...
Do squares.
Just do squares. Oh, there you go. Geraldine, it's still open to you. There you go.
No, honestly, look, FPP, I know people struggle with FPP, but I promise you, it's one of those things that you've just got to take your time. You've got to just focus on getting it right. And literally, you're going to practice and practice. And I promise you, it will then come to you and you'll be like, why on earth did I struggle with that? It is so, so simple. But I've got 3 or 4 different ways of showing people how to do it. Some work for some people, some work for others. It's a case of, I've only ever had one person that's not been able to do it. And
Oh,
that's
don't tell
okay.
everyone about me,
No, but
John.
You've never taken one of the classes. No, but honestly, it's one of those ones you've just got to dedicate the time to it, and I promise you it will work out absolutely fine. You've just got to take your time with it.
Oh, there you go. There we go. Talking of taking your time with it, look at this. It's looking
Isn't it gorge?
good. It's looking gorgeous. Sue says, yeah, well restrained, John, on the poo. So many
I
words.
try and behave.
So many words. I mean, it's rare, but we thank you.
I take great pride that Lady Josephine, who works for me, never swore before she started working for me. I will leave that there. She will deny it, of course.
What, that she swears, or
No,
that you
she
make
never
her
swears.
swear?
She never swears.
Really, still not. Even working for
I'm
you.
saying nothing.
That sounded worse than it did, didn't it? I just realised how that sounded.
Please don't worry. I've known you long enough. I know you meant that with good fun.
You know, there's just a moment where that comment just landed.
I've just seen your husband for the first time.
Oh, lovely.
I'm assuming it's your husband.
What? I can't see from
A
here.
tall, dark-haired man just walked in the door, so I'm assuming he belongs to you.
Sounds similar.
Yeah.
Sounds similar. Becky's message said the bag pattern also has the pocket measurements if you don't want to do the FPP, but try FPP. It's actually easy once it clicks.
Promise you it is.
See, Becky thinks of everything. She sure does.
Well, you see, when we did the crafty stash bag, we gave everybody the alternative of putting squares on there if you didn't want to do the FPP. So you've got the same option available to you now.
This is looking
This
a bit
colourway
swanky pants,
is so
isn't it?
beautiful. This really works.
It does really work.
Oh my gosh.
There's no denying that, is there?
You see, this is what I love because the pattern is so simple. I'm going to lay this all out. I don't think we'll have time to do them all, but you lay them all out and you can see just how gorgeous this looks. And you can see by doing it there with the solids or with the pattern fabric just how beautiful this looks.
Does that shrink down to that?
With the seam allowance.
Yeah, it always blows my mind. Geraldine says, oh, the lovely Victoria Pete has been so patient trying to show me how to FPP. I get frustrated and make a mess. Jane Alcock said, left-handed people pick it up easy. Not in my case.
Really?
Yeah, because of the way their brains are wired. Left-handed.
So why have you struggled with it?
I'm right-handed.
Wow.
That's my excuse. I'm going to use it. Me and
how
Geraldine.
about I teach you the good South African nun way. That I stand here and I make you do it, and I've got my wooden spoon next to me.
Well, there's an incentive.
To never FPP in your whole life.
The good South African nun way.
It
That
is.
does not sound very inspiring.
Well, you won't forget it.
No.
It'll be ingrained forever, whether you like it or
true.
not.
Yeah, I'm sure there's a
Can I
therapy
just
for
say, like, hello?
that. What,
how
to all the
gorgeous
nuns
is
out there
this?
washing?
Yeah.
Oh, no, hello, how gorgeous is this? Yeah, let's say that instead.
That.
It's beautiful, isn't it?
But what I love is you've got the ombre, and you can see that you've got darker purple there next to lighter purple. So if you were a little bit
OCD.
particular,
Oh, okay.
you can move these around and you can have your ombre towards
You
the bottom.
can ombre your ombre, right?
You can ombre your
You can
ombre.
ombre your ombre. Helen said, my sister-in-law never swore till she started sewing. I mean, yeah, I feel that.
Yeah, but I get that.
I've been there.
I get that.
Yeah, you see, there you go. Myra says, Jenny Raymond also said that FPP comes naturally to left-handed people.
Mm.
I kind of want to be
Why
left-handed.
don't you get Jenny
now.
to teach you?
All these options. Loving this colourway. It's absolutely
Isn't it
fabulous.
gorgeous?
Susan. Oh, isn't it
So I
just?
think Gemma's already put this on the website.
Yeah,
She's very good at that.
she's a good one. Well, I mean, everyone's a good one here. Annie says, I'm with Geraldine on FEP. It fills me with dread, but I do love the neat finish and the detail that can be accomplished. Ali, I'm with you. I am with you, and that's why I get John in to do it. But for me, it's just the first 2 lines of stitching. After that,
Oh,
I'm
that's
fine.
easy. That's the easiest bit for the easiest bit.
Really?
And I'll show you that when we do the next bit.
Really?
Because I think you're quite analytical as well. So I think the way I describe it might work well for your brain. It doesn't work for everybody. But now, come on, girls and boys. Look how beautiful that is. You know what? That is absolutely stunning.
It's a work of art in itself, isn't it? So, John, I have a thing that I'm going to do. I know, right? I'm just going to put it out there. I'm going to do a thing whereby I'm going to show you how to take a block, any block, your favourite block. This is kind of inspired by Nettie.
Nettie, good old Nettie. She's
Who
good at that.
actually I haven't seen on this morning. Don't know where she is. But,
Remind me to tell you the story about Nettie's holiday.
oh, okay. Is it airproof?
Yeah.
Okay, that's right. But it just, I want to show you how because we get caught up, don't we? You might see a block, and this is why we do blocks of the month, because you can buy the whole quilt, you can crack on with a whole quilt, or you can just love a block. And Nettie loved one of the blocks that you did, John.
Yep.
And made it into a bag. So I want to create a way to show you how to make it into a bag, how to make it into a cushion, how to do all those things so that a block just isn't just a block. It can become whatever you want it to be, so that then you can see our blocks of the month and go, great,
Hello.
I'm going to use that for. Actually, do you know what, John? Before you start sewing, talking of blocks of the month, could you just have a look behind you and hold something up? There's a quilt behind, but it's behind you. It might be under your quilt.
Is it the black back?
Yeah. This will be starting next month. It has just arrived from Australia.
Shut the front door.
I mean, the back's
No,
pretty awesome.
seriously, you cannot be serious.
Yeah. So I have a big thank you to Lisa Chandler for
Is she
allowing
watching?
me.
Is she here?
She has been watching. I don't know if she's still watching. She makes her whole
She
family
goes
watch.
to sleep, exactly.
Hello. But
So we got a problem though.
what?
How are you going to do this when this goes in the back of my car today?
Well,
No, seriously. Like, I've got so much to do
I
at the
know.
moment.
but John, it's just a little bit of
Like, seriously.
yeah.
They're 3D flowers.
No,
Like, should we do them here? Come on.
because it's not
Come on.
going to be. It's not going to be done in one big shebang.
Oh,
It's
poop.
going to be a little
Sorry,
bit.
you
bit
can't get the
by-
demonstrators anymore.
I
There you
know,
go.
I know. Shocking, isn't it?
Look at that.
The 3D flowers on
I
these.
don't think that's worked quite as well as I thought.
are
Oh my goodness, I've just taken a
phenomenal.
whole...
Look at that! Look at that! I mean, we'll give up on that. Just hold it out, John. It's fine.
No, but I'm sorry. You have to do it because, look, you've got 3D flowers over here. They're proper 3D flowers.
These
Oh
are
yeah.
gorgeous.
Yeah. Okay.
No, this is absolutely stunning.
So do me a favour and hold it up again so that everybody can see. Thank you. Thank you. If you love this, and this is the thing, it might be that there is one block on there that you absolutely adore that you want to make into a cushion or a bag, apart from having it in your quilt.
But hang
Then-
on, you could make these as a headband.
I know, and you would look beautiful in that, John. I mean, do you know what?
That is
We'll
stunning.
make them. We'll send some to Sarah Payne to wear in her hair because she loves a good flowery hair thing. I've got all the terminology, flowery hair thing.
But the thing is, everybody understands them. But they're all 3D.
I know. I know.
The only expression is shut the front door.
That's amazing.
So we will be
That is
starting
just
this
stunning.
next month.
I hadn't seen that one.
I know.
Oh my goodness.
I know. And these are going to give you techniques. I know. That's your ginger plant. Beautiful, isn't it?
Sorry. Look at your ginger plant. Look at that. All 3D. Like, seriously.
Yeah, hang on. Yeah, but look at the thing that's going around the side. Look at all that ruching.
Oh, like a bit of ruching.
I mean, yeah.
Oh my gosh.
So here's the thing, right? We are.
Who gets to do this?
Me. Well, everybody gets to do it.
No, I mean to demo it.
Me. And I've never
Jane
done
must
any
be
of those.
spitting.
Well, I did offer it to Jane first, and then I whipped it away. I was quite bad. I did go. So you know, Jane, how I said it'd be really nice if you did. Sorry, I'm going to do it now.
Sorry, Jane. Sneeze you lose. Sneeze you lose.
Sorry, not sorry. So, yeah. I'm really excited because you're going to be learning with me. I promise that I will have, and Lisa says that she will coach me in anything that I need to learn first. So you are in really good hands with Lisa, and then
With you. Don't put yourself
hopefully-
down.
No. But this is Lisa's thing, and I really feel, and I have to thank you for this as well, John. Since you introduced me to Lisa, I feel like I have a mentor.
Oh, she's amazing.
She is phenomenal, and I am absolutely
I am going to say one
loving
thing though.
working with her.
I'm not as pushy as you tell me I am.
Huh? Yeah.
In your interview, I love that. I was like, you both turned around and said, "Oh, John's so pushy," and I was like, "I am. Yes, I am."
own it. Just
I
own
do.
it. Yeah. Sue says, I didn't swear at work, but I would phone my brother occasionally, and we would start the conversation with incredible profanity until one day my brother coughed and said, darling, can I call you back? You're on speakerphone, and I'm with Princess Margaret's private secretary.
I like that story.
Helen, I'm with you. I struggle with starting FBP every time I have to think which way the fabric goes.
Okay,
Absolutely.
so really simple way of doing it is the wrong side of your fabric goes to the wrong side of your paper. So however way you look at it, the right side is sticking out.
Yeah,
That's
there's lots
your
of
first
words.
piece.
You're going to show us.
And I will.
Show us. Don't give us words. We need
Promise
to learn
you, it
from
is
this.
so easy to get
Are you
started.
just chain piecing right now?
Literally just chain piecing, and I'm not going to do the whole block because there's just not going to be enough time. But I'm going to do this row here.
Okay, fabulous. Pam says, my hubby taught me to drive the same way, but used a fork. And every time I looked down to change
Alright.
gears, I was promptly stabbed with a fork. I mean,
Have you ever put your car in the wrong gear since?
I don't know that we should be advocating.
No, I'm not advocating
like-
it by any... It was outlawed for a reason. It was outlawed for a reason.
Wow,
However,
South African nuns. Wow.
any of us who have ever been trained that way, you've never forgotten it. Wow. You don't?
No, you wouldn't. Fiona says, sorry to be so late. To be so late to the party. Work and reports, awful combination for a Monday. Oh,
Very.
Taking a break for a giggle fix from you both.
I tell you, that is the one thing that I will never miss about not being an accountant anymore.
Was that the fact you
The
can't
reports
laugh? Oh, the reports.
and Excel.
Oh, I thought because
I
you
break
didn't
out
laugh.
into hives when Gemma wants Excel stuff. And I'm like, no. I'll write it out to you in Messenger. It makes much more sense.
For me, I'm going to couch your terms and just say, for me, that is a Gemma problem.
Yeah, completely.
Yep. Anyway, Fiona has a lovely hashtag for us. She has hashtag you keep me sane.
Oh, that's very kind.
Aww. Susan says, wow, stunning quilt. Yeah. And Geraldine says, OMG, what are you doing to me, Natasha?
I know.
I'm
I
about
know.
to
I love
cut
the way
my
I just
hands
said
off.
thank you, but it wasn't even my quilt.
After I've eaten my credit card. Everyone's gushed over
Look.
your quilt. Don't you worry, John.
Your credit card is your friend. You haven't been able to go anywhere, do anything. You can't go on holiday, so yeah, there you go. Your stash is going to warm you at night, literally.
Yeah, no, it's useful, right? Karen says, one of these blocks would look fab on the back of a kimono. Yes, you see exactly that.
Ooh.
And do you know what, Karen? You are just the person to do that and show us.
Completely.
Yeah.
Now, what I've done here, what we've done when we picked all these fabrics out, we've done a long quarter, which I think you're going to get... Oh, hang on.
Oh, so Anne says, Team Natasha, are you going to stock Lewis and Irene Reflections collection? And it's been up since the weekend. It's there. It's already there. People have already bought. Yeah. Oh, Janice went to a school run by nuns. They love a wrap you over the knuckles with the edge of the ruler. Ooh.
I didn't go for a school with nuns in it, but I was
Didn't you?
friends with people who did.
Yeah. They don't, I was going to say they don't get the best rap. It's probably not the best.
I think that's probably the right terminology, actually.
Oh, I didn't swear until I joined my job, says Ali B. The lads
I
used
thought you were going to say Joe Collins.
No, the lads used to teach me how to swear with a
Gemma's
Stoke
coming.
accent
Something's happened.
for real effect.
If we're going to restock the Lewis and Irene Reflections because it has flown out at the rate of knots.
Was it sold out?
Nearly all.
Can I just ask, you know that purple ombre? The
Oh.
purple ombre is available by the half metre as well?
It's
Or have you blocked it all?
that's
Okay.
gone because of the bundles. And we have a few bundles.
Oh, there's a few bundles left.
But there's one of the complete. Well, there was one of the complete collections left. Which
Hang on. Let me just relay this.
This
I feel
is
like
important
I'm
stock
doing,
information.
Yeah. There is.
Collection is gone.
Well, there's one of the complete collection left,
Possibly.
possibly, unless it's gone. There was when Gemma walked
Now, this is
From
the
there
thing,
to
you
here.
know when Gemma's coming, if you want anything, because this is where you've got it coming in, you need to click out, check out now. You do your basket, you do the postage adjustments at the end, don't you?
We can
So
do
if you order multiple
yeah.
times, it's a Gemma problem.
It's an SJ problem.
Oh, it's an SJ problem. Another person, another problem. But yeah, just make sure if you are looking for the complete kit, get it now. Just saying there's one left.
What
there
else
was
is
one.
there, Gemma?
Some of the individual stock has.
Some of the individual stock has gone.
That's why I think she's asking if we're going to read.
Oh gosh, yeah, no, she said stock rather than restock. I didn't realise because I'm sitting here, not there. I didn't know. So, I mean, I will ask the question. It's as simple as that. But I can't guarantee it. So what I would say is if you wanted the complete collection, grab it now. Back to Ali, swearing with a Stoke accent for real effect. I mean, I think if you're going to swear, like, do it properly.
Ooh. Oh, I don't think you can swear any harsher than in South African, in Afrikaans.
No, actually, that would sound
Yep.
quite good. I can remember one morning being on patrol with one of the lads, and he made me swear at everyone we drove past. I was howling with laughter. Mind you, a lot of the people I work with taught me a few swear words as well.
I've definitely corrupted Jo. Definitely.
Have you?
Corrupted within an inch of her life, the poor woman.
Will she never be the same again?
Probably not. But she'll say it with a giggle, with her hand in front of her face, going, I don't know what you're talking about.
Anne says, where have I been? I don't know, Anne, I don't know, but quickly grab it.
That's the problem. We end up chatting away, and then people just sneakily order everything, and it's all gone.
Oh, Laurie says, I found out on Friday that I cannot go to Illinois to see family in June due to COVID rules. Do you know what, Laurie, that sucks, doesn't it? But we're here for you.
That is horrible.
We will be your sewing family, and you can be with us.
Do you know that last January, I was so lucky, I went off to, I was talking to Andrew and my friend yesterday about it, and I went off to New York, New Jersey, Pennsylvania, Ontario in Canada,
Oh, was this
Rhode
like
Island,
your,
and I did a 3,500 mile road trip
Wow.
all the way through North America that way.
must have
Oh,
been
it was
awful
absolutely
for you.
stunning. It was terrible. And then Virgin cancelled my flight
What, to
coming
get
home, so I had to stay an extra day. So I got to go to Philadelphia and do 4 of the most gorgeous quilt stores I've ever seen. They were so gorgeous.
What's the expression, sucks to be you?
Yeah, it was terrible. It was terrible.
My husband and I had a similar situation. We were in the States when the ash cloud hit.
Oh no.
Yeah. And it was in the middle of my Olympic training. And so I'd taken 2 weeks holiday as a break, and that had been great. And that was everything that we needed. And we'd done Vegas, and we'd landed in, we'd done Vegas and landed in, they're my paper scissors, so they're really rubbish for fabric. John's just getting excited because he's
They're
found
colourful.
purple
Those are
scissors.
pink. I don't want pink.
I saw a pair of scissors here. What did I do with them?
Up there. And so we were in New York, and we were told that we probably wouldn't be able to get home for another 2 weeks. So I looked at my husband and I said, do you know what? This is rubbish. It's raining. We get rain in the UK. So let's go somewhere else. And so I phoned Mark Foster, who was my swimming coach. And I was like, look, Foz, I know that you've got a house in Miami. Where do you train? And so he said, look, when I'm out there, you need to go and train with Dr. Gary Hall. So we got on a plane. We flew to Miami. We then drove down. I know this was dreadful, right?
Tell me you got a convertible.
We then drove
You didn't
down.
you must have got a convertible.
Not
No.
at that point. No, we had a Mustang when we drove from LA up to Vegas. And so, I know, it's dreadful, isn't it? So then we went down and we stayed in Florida Keys. And I trained with Dr. Gary Hall, who trained all of the American Olympic
How dreadful
team.
for you.
And I mean, I came back properly built, like
Quite right.
hours every day in the pool with this guy. It was a killer. It was an absolute killer. And of course, all the carbohydrates that, I came home just wanting to eat a salad, honestly.
But not American salad.
No,
Because,
God,
my
no.
God, they're terrifying.
No, I know.
There are more calories in an
I
American
know.
salad than there are in a bowl of pasta.
So, and I just remember the horrified look on my fencing instructor's face when I finally got home, and Prof just looked at me and went, "What the hell has happened to you?" Because my shoulders were huge.
Fabulous.
And Stephen, my husband, just telling me, he said, "Well, you're built for purpose." I'm like, "That is not a
Nice.
compliment any woman
It
wants
makes you
to
sound
hear."
like a cart horse. Thanks, Steve. That's great. Yes.
But honestly,
You had
he
children with him, so you must have done something
He was
right.
right, because I was absolutely. It wasn't how I wanted to look, but it was how I needed to look.
Exactly.
And but my fencing instructor just looked at me and went, "What happened?" I went, "A month in the States, carbs and Gary Hall. That's what happened. That
I
is what
love
happened."
it.
Because I was bursting out of my fencing jacket and everything. It just, the
love it.
muscles that I developed in that month were just insane.
I love it.
It was just insane, and it was crazy.
love
So that's
that.
my extra month in Australia story. In Australia, America. I've never
America.
been to Australia.
You see, with
yet.
American, we when I landed at the airport, now I'm a bit of a diva in case you hadn't gathered.
John,
And there
what
is
an admission
nothing
no
more.
one knew.
There is nothing more annoying in the world than someone who's just mildly inconvenienced. So I land at the Avis International, and I have been quite specific on my car, quite specific, because I don't want anything with thousands and thousands of miles on. And if it smells, you're giving me a new one. And that, I don't think that's unreasonable when you're paying $400. No, sorry, it was $210 a day for a car.
What?
I know. Anyway, I clearly got the wrong deal. So I got the car.
I'd want a blinking chauffeur
Went to
for
the
that
car,
as well.
I opened the door, and I was like, no. Heavy smoker beforehand. If you want to smoke, that's your call, do it. But in a rental car. Went to the lady, I said, "Look, I'm tired. I haven't slept. I cannot drive that vehicle. I'm asthmatic. I'm not dealing with it." She says, "Oh," I said, "Come." She says, "Oh, no. She gave me an Escalade. You know those giant big, so I had an Escalade going all around the place. So I'd pull up to this, all the quilt shops, there's a giant Escalade. I'm like, "Hello, darling."
Look how much fabric I can fit in here.
Well, that was another conversation.
Helen says, "Will you be doing a plain kit for this month's block?" It's exactly the same block as last month's block, fabric-wise. So
Yes.
just buy another one of last month's block. And because we looked at, was you like, did
No.
you do another one?
It's not last month,
Yeah.
because this was last month. You're missing 2 colours. Need to chat to Gemma.
Bear with us. We'll get that sorted.
Gem? Oh, sorry, I'm just running ahead. So all I've done
What are you doing?
is I've now sewn these together, but I clipped all my little ends off. You don't have to. You can see on here I didn't. It's entirely up to you, but they were nice scissors, so I thought I'd just trim them down. And all you're going to do now is you put these one on top of the other, and you're going to sew down this side here. Now, when you line these up, I'm going to get this over here for Tash.
Is that a close-up?
Thank you, darling.
Gemma's loading something.
Colours to be confirmed.
The with the plains, it'll be the same as the original kit, but without the cafe, and a long quarter of all of it except the white. You'll need a half meter.
It'll be like the pattern one we just done. It'll be 7.
Yeah, 7 in total. So it'll be tonally the same with the blues, and if they're doing the green as well, same colours, and then just a long quarter of each will be more than enough. And then I think a half meter should be okay.
We'll load it as 6 long quarters and a half metre.
Perfect.
There
Now,
we go.
when
Got
you're
it,
ready
that's
to
that
do
sorted.
these, fold this corner down, and what you're looking for is this to be a complete straight line. When you line everything up, you want this all to be in a straight line. And then you plop that back on, line it all up, and then you're doing a 1/4 inch down here. Now, I always start from the bottom because then you don't end up with that little fabric lump. Now, everything is on the bias here, so when you're doing it, just be careful and don't force it. Just let your machine take it through,
Your machine will do it. It's going to be okay.
and it will, definitely. And all I do is, if you've got the needle down option, do keep that in. And what I do then is, as I've done about half the block, I then just reline everything up and check it's all in place.
Perfect. Karen says, "Nice. I nearly bought an Escalade a few years ago.
Oh, they're
Gorgeous
lovely.
car.
They're very nice.
Are they the ones that all like the prime
The
ministers
Celebritatars
and stuff?
have, yes.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
Celebritatars. Now, if you've done that correctly, you'll see that you've lined that up, that when you fold this open, your point is exactly at the top. And, well, obviously it is.
Ovs, because you've done a good job. Good job.
And then I always press my seam open at this point
Okay, cool.
because firstly you're going to have a lot of bulk at that point because when you start sewing it all together, but also when you do that you can check on the back that you've hit your point.
Perfect.
And you can see there I have.
Nice.
So you're just going to do that for all 6 of them. Now, when you're doing this as a whole, I'm just doing this 6 to start with. I do find it easier working in columns, but other people prefer doing it in rows. So it's entirely up to you how you want to do it. I'm doing it in a column because I haven't sewn all these together. So you just repeat that process all the way along your run. And because you've got this bulk of fabric here, I always start stitching from this bottom bit over here.
Okay. Elizabeth wants to know what that circle thing is on your machine.
What circle thing?
On the side.
Oh, this is... I've always been a class angel at the Knitting and Stitching Show and the Festival of Quilts and all of that. And one year, I think it was the Great British Sewing Bee Show at the Excel Centre.
Oh yeah, I was there.
They were doing lights that then come around the side and do it. So this is the attachment for it. And if any of you know where my light is in my studio, would love to know. So
Hey, look,
just
you're
let me
going to
know.
find it when you
don't.
take all your stuff out.
I'm quite terrified because I won't deny that went missing yesterday. So an hour and a half of my time was trying to find that, and some clever soul put it in the bag to go with all the other 692 quilts to be quilted and put them in their new spot. So I was lying on the floor pulling things out. So yes, I am a little terrified about what I'm going to find.
How exciting! Oh, you could look at it as being really exciting that you could find.
Oh, it's going to be
all sorts.
amazing.
Yeah. So we now know what that circle thing is. What other questions? Oh, I have a question for Karen. Because I think that as much as Karen has a dress for every day of the year, I think she also has a car for every day of the week.
Good, quite right. I approve this message.
This is good.
Well,
This is good.
there are a lot of cars in your driveway.
They're not all mine. They're not all mine. They're not all mine. I have a mum bus and a horse box.
A mum box, and a mum car and a horse box, okay.
Yeah.
Yours is a Volvo, isn't it?
Yeah.
Is that car good? Because I have to say I've been looking at that and I absolutely adored it.
Do you know, I love it.
See, I want to get, you've got the V60 or V70.
Oh, I've got the exit, yeah, the 60.
I'm looking at that, because, I don't know, I like big cars. Because I've been in 2 terrible car crashes, I want as many airbags and as much space around me as possible.
Do you know what, John? That's exactly what it's. So this has got something. Sorry, everybody. Everyone's like,
That's why
this is
they
meant to
tune
be a sewing show, and now we've moved on to cars. So mine has something on it called City Stop,
Right.
which means that if I don't brake in time, it will.
Oh, yes.
So it will stop any head-on collision, which is just phenomenal.
That
And
is
there
good.
has not been a single fatality in a head-on collision in that car.
How fabulous.
And I don't mean like just my car. I mean as in
I was
like
going to say,
the-
you make it sound as though in the previous car, 49 people were mowed down in the streets of the Midlands.
In that make of car, they have not
That's
had.
really
certainly
good.
at the time of me knowing that fact. So having like you, having been in some horrifying crashes, that was so important for me.
No, completely.
And it was one of those really weird things.
I think unless you've been in a car crash that's changed your world, you actually don't pay as much attention to the safety features on it.
Would you change it though? If you could go back and not
No,
have that car crash,
nothing.
would you change it?
I would not change one single aspect of my life, good or bad, because it's brought me to where I am now. I'm so lucky with where I've been, and even the terrible bits that have happened have brought me to great places. So I would not change one aspect of my life.
I love that.
The only thing I might change is I'd
Okay.
like to have met Andrew earlier.
Yeah, but would it have been the right time?
No. And I think now, but I say this to everybody, it doesn't matter what you do in life, it all happens at the exact right time, exactly when it's meant
all
to.
happening.
And
Yeah.
I'm quite zen about all of that.
Yeah, no, me too. And for me, my crash gave me gratitude. That was my big learning curve. So I wouldn't, as much as I felt terrified, and still do occasionally for years, have flashbacks.
Oh, I'm terrible in the car, and especially if somebody wants to talk to me while I'm driving.
Oh,
I
okay.
drop them off.
Yeah,
Tell them to get the
I
train.
think that's fine. Fair enough. It taught me gratitude. So I went from getting really stressed when Freddie cried in the night because I had to be up early for work, to feeling so grateful that I could be there to look after him, because he was only 17 months when it happened. So you know, for me that was phenomenal. And
Well, I know for a fact if I'd actually pulled off 1 second earlier, I'd be dead.
yeah,
It's just 1 second earlier and I'd have been dead.
there were
There's
so
no
many
way.
ways. Yeah, and it just is one of those things, isn't it? Oh, Karen says, well, a car for a fortnight. Haha, 15 at the last count. A girl needs
She's got
choice.
15 cars.
Yeah, I
Love
salute
it.
that. Yeah.
What's your favourite one? Because in our new house, God willing, it all goes through, there's space for, I want to get a little baby Fiat 500. The proper old original Fiat 500s. I love those. Really love that. But yeah, do I need 2 cars?
One for each foot, right? Oh no, it's shoes. Margaret says, I love my Volvo S80. It's a 1.5 tons of gorgeousness.
We see I love the Volvo. It's the V90 I want because they are just beasts. I love them. But yeah, I think I might have to wait a while until once we've got the new house and sort that before I start looking at a new car. Or I'm going to have to get a proper job at some point, you know.
What? Oh, Susan's been waiting 3 months for her new car. She's getting a Crosslander. But they're having problems getting the parts for it, so still waiting. It's my mobility car, so it will be good to get a higher car. Well, that's perfect, isn't it? Do you know what the thing is? It will be worth it.
Exactly.
And so many people are having to wait for stuff. I know that we still had a couple of people waiting for their NX7s because the parts didn't arrive in the last thing. And as much as it's a pain, it'll be so exciting when it does arrive.
Exactly. I do think some people... No, I'm not going to say that. I think COVID has definitely slowed things down, but I do think things could potentially go a little quicker with certain things.
Yeah, but it is what it is, isn't it?
It is what it is. You can't change it.
When it's here. So it's all good. It means you'll appreciate it all the more when it arrives. That's my thinking. Oh, Jane says hubby has bought a Triumph TR6.
Ooh.
Awesome.
Now, my father, his hobby when we were children was he built Triumph cars. And we had every single version of the Triumph Herald. My mother's car was the Triumph Herald. And he built a Triumph Spitfire. He had a TR3, I think it was. So my whole childhood is brought up on...
in Triumph?
Going into the Triumph car weekends and...
Oh, amazing.
So.
Well, Elizabeth says, she said, I found my TR7 repair manual last night.
Oh, how fabulous.
Yeah, she said, I had to practically lay down to drive it. I need another, I think, because I'm unable to sit on a chair. Sorted. Haven't done it for 7 years. Well, there you go. There you go. TR7 it is then, Elizabeth.
So all I've done once I've sewn those together is I'm now sewing these quadrants together.
Oh, hang on. I was just going to show
You're all
everyone
good.
on a close-up. Let's go this one instead. Eeny, meeny, miny, mo. There we
So
go.
you can then, you're sewing these into quadrants. So if you do want to do a close-up,
Oh, yeah, no, I can
that's
do
what
that
we're
now.
going to look like. You're going to have
Nice.
your half square triangles. And what's great
Very nice point.
is, well, the points are quite good. Now with this, I think it's important to just remember that when you're doing your point and you're sewing it together, you're aiming to be on this side of that point, because then when you press this open, and I would advise you to press these open only because there's a huge amount of bulk there, but if you want to press it to the side, that is your call entirely. There is no right or wrong.
Oh, hang on.
When you do that, you can see I've hit that point perfectly.
Come on then. Nice.
And I think that just makes life all the more special when you do get that point, especially when it's not foundation paper pieced. The fact that you got the point right is like, la 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 la.
Oh, there you go. Elizabeth said that she bought my red convertible. She said to give me the incentive to put in for driving lessons.
Oh,
She always
fab.
used to ride a bike. I think that's so funny, but it then shows intent, doesn't it?
It does.
And that's it, and then stuff already starts. Yeah. Now you see, Christine, I have. She said when she crashed the car, she couldn't undo her seatbelt. I have a little gadget in
So
my
do I.
car so that I can always
For me,
do
it's
that.
a fire extinguisher.
Oh, okay, cool. Yeah, whatever works. Jacqueline's got hailstones in Hampshire.
Oh,
Hailstones in Hampshire hardly ever happen. Is that? Yeah, that was my fair lady, wasn't it?
I love the fact that Half Pint just sits there and occasionally just puts a foot out.
You know.
So now you can see we are now at the point of sewing those together there. And you can see that works so beautiful. Look at the seam allowances, how much it's taken up.
It really does, doesn't it?
It
Shrinks.
really does.
Just shrinks.
And it's just so simple again. All you're doing is you're putting that one on top of the other. When you're now looking to line seams up, you're lining this seam up here to the middle. If you don't have these being exactly right, because you can see I'm slightly out over here, that is absolutely fine. But if you're lining up your seams, the ones that are going to be noticeable are these lines here. So make sure that you're lining this central section up rather than the sides, because that you can hide in the seam allowance. This everybody's going to see. So just make sure that you pay a little bit more attention to that middle seam.
Right, okay.
Rather than lining it up to the edges, because the edges you can hide things.
PT is awesome. She had a new planes bundle for today's block. Block 3 is available.
Woo!
And she's even added the link.
Thank
Oh, there
you.
we go. And we're just finding out whether or not Julia's TR7 is Elizabeth's old TR7. They're
funny.
swapping number plates and everything. It's all going on. It's not your average sewing show, is it?
Nope.
Oh, so Emily, my 2-year-old,
Yeah.
came up with a great new slogan for Natasha
goodness.
Makes. Don't be scared, it's okay. She came up with Mummy because she was looking at the new Lewis and Irene.
Yes, the bees.
And no.
The new ones are these?
Yeah, the swirly ones. And she just said, Mummy, it's adventures in fabric.
Oh, I love
So
that.
yeah, Natasha Makes adventures
She
in
carries
fabric.
on like this, she's going to have to go on the payroll.
She gets fed. What else does she want? What are you doing?
You always point it this way, because if it's like my iron and you do it the first time on here, any schmutz goes on your fabric.
Oh. You can tell how long it's been since I steamed anything, right? It's brand new. It shouldn't be schmooching anything.
Schmutzing. Oh my God, I love this colourway.
It's
I
great,
might
isn't
actually do the whole quilt in this.
it? Really? Geraldine said the colours are stunning, John. Great choice.
I'd love to say it was mine. Jane. I brought out 4 of them and Jane was like, no, not that one. And she was like, okay. She put it in and she's like, that's why she gets the big bucks. She's brilliant.
And she also says, great sewing. Anyone think that you were a quilter?
No, not really. Just
Don't tell
fudge
anyone.
it till you make it.
Don't tell anyone.
So to make this block, you're just going to do exactly what I've done now, hopefully with the banter, with someone wonderful. And you then make 3 of these.
Yep.
And you've made the block. Once you've made 3 of these and you've made the block, you'll need 8 blocks for the quilt. So, yeah, you'll have fun.
Nice, yeah, it's a nice little evening to spend doing
is.
that. Ali says that, yeah, you've had witchy witch influences. And
Stitchy
Elizabeth says,
witchy.
yeah, adventures in fabric. That's a natural businesswoman, Natasha. And Fiona says, oh, Emily, I love that. Inga and I were giggling when she said it because Inga said, do you know how much you could have spent with
Trying to figure out that.
yeah, like with a consultancy, like
Love it.
and to get that same slogan. She's like, yeah, and anyone could come up with
look
it.
at this.
2-year-old could come up with it. Literally.
But-
Oh gosh, it's like it's shrunk.
It really has.
It's like the Lilliput. Was that H.P. Growling?
I think it was.
Or just,
I think she's having a dream.
oh, is she having a great, she's probably dreaming of the kittens who keep stealing her food.
It is, so.
That's fab. I love
So
that.
there we go. That's what you're doing now.
Yep.
It's exactly the same thing, just 3 times.
Okay.
And then you'll just put them together one by one by one. So you would literally just line these up. So when you're putting them this way, you're wanting to make sure that you hit the points over here. So you can see over there that they're just touching. If you do miss a point, now this is really, really important. And I think it's important that you know this from the beginning. Let me look into your eyes.
Oh, hang on.
I say it.
Hang on. You've got to have
Okay.
a different camera so you can
As
do
and
that.
when you miss a point in quilting, it is very, very important that you quit immediately and send your stash to me. You just stop then and there because your life is over. It's never going to work again. It doesn't bloody matter. go and do another point. The next point will match. As long as you're 50-50, you're fine. Even on this one, I can show at least 10 points that I've missed. It doesn't matter.
But why would you?
It's going to be fun, and it's for you. And I promise you, the only person who's going to notice it is you, because you're like this with it all the time. You're like that. No one's going to notice. So please don't worry about it. I always say to you how you can avoid missing a point. If you can, great. If you miss it, no one's going to die. That is the thing. Just get it on and enjoy it. This is meant to be fun. So that's my
just it, isn't
top
it?
tip on
Yeah.
all of that.
Yeah, yeah.
And
Thank
be
you.
kinder to yourself.
Exactly. All of the above. So that is demo number 1.
Number 1.
Are you keeping those in a specific order, John?
I
so
have
that
them
you-
all ready. I have
I know they're
little.
going-
You can see I've got tiny little bags everywhere.
I know. I can see that's going to go home with you.
And what happens
get
is that
done.
they go in the little bag, and then when I
Yep.
do month 4, I bring them all out, and we can show you all what there is. And if there's any stock left, you can be reminded of what it is. And if there isn't stock left, that's Gemma's problem, and Gemma needs to sort it.
So
Hey, Gemma.
actually, that's a me problem. I do the buying. That's a me problem. Hey, just you wait. Tomorrow I will show you some more gorgeous Lewis and Irene fabrics, which is so beautifully summery. And I will show you more in depth the...
I mean, the stuff that's going in my bag, you know, that
yeah,
stuff.
that stuff. Yeah, this is why you have a big car, isn't it? So you can just stuff the boot full of fabric.
Do you know, I heard a wonderful thing from Ricky Timms. One of the great things about being able to be a class angel at all these amazing events is you get to meet these wonderful people. And I looked after Ricky Timms when he was there, and I did the whole 4 days when he was doing his talk, and I sold his fabric and everything. And there are some people in the quilting world who give it a bad name because about £400 worth of his fabric went missing while it was, everybody comes and looks at it, and there's many ways that you can look after it. And I was mortified, and I said to him, look, I'll pay you for them. He says, don't be silly. If someone's going to nick fabric, they've got to live with that on their conscience, and they've got to have that stolen fabric in their life for the rest of their lives, and they'll always know that they got it dishonestly. So that's always stuck with me, because it's a case, if someone's going to nick it, you can't stop it, but you just can't put bad energy onto it. And he was amazing. He was so good about that.
Yeah,
That's always stuck with me, that anybody who gets anything from dishonest measures will always have to live with that.
I introduced Jane Greenoff to Sewing Quarter. I gave her that introduction, and I love Jane dearly. She's just phenomenal, and she had. You remember she had that little little pocketbook, and it got stolen at a show. And it was a sampler, and so it had taken months for her to do. Anyway, all the women that she knew that stitched, they all got involved, and they all stitched a page.
So beautiful.
And so now she has her sampler.
But it means so much more because there's so much
she
love.
didn't stitch it; it was stitched by all the people that love her. And you know, as much as nobody wants anything stolen because it's a horrible energy, actually she came out of it feeling really loved.
Exactly. So from that, I would never nick anything.
No.
Never in a trillion years. Now, the kit. If you want to know what you're getting in your kit, you're getting 10 different fat quarters. The
Loving these
colours are
colours.
all different.
Fat quarters or long quarters?
Sorry, long quarters, long
Okay.
quarters. The reason we've done the long quarters is some people prefer long quarters over fat quarters, and they fit it in the bag easier, and there was less folding. Just laziness, really. Complete and utter laziness. Now, the thing with this is I wanted to give you 10 different colours
Gosh, these colours are
that
beautiful.
were all different, to give you different options of what you were going to make. So you can tell I've got a whole load of different choices for you here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And then you've got the cerise and the green.
Gosh,
Now, the reason I've
beautiful.
given you 2 greens is if you wanted to do your leaves in a different colour, you could use the lighter green, or if you wanted to use the lighter green all the way along, or like this, if you just wanted to use the lighter green in your pots. I wanted to give you an array of colours that would work for this, because I've given you a colour plan. So the pattern you're going to get is going to come to you like this. There are 24 pages in the pattern, so much wording in it. I've given you a rough idea of how to colour it. There is no right or wrong. If you just got the pattern on your own, you're not using huge amounts of fabric. You can easily use your scraps.
So we're going to have a huge amount left over.
Huge amount. Huge amount. And the good thing is the reason that I love that is solids are so good to having any sort of stash, because like for example the block of the month that I've just done, if you wanted to do those triangles in an array of colors like this, you could do it as a scrappy colorway. You can do them however you choose to do them. Now on each one of the foundation paper piecings you're going to have the outline of the block, you're going to have the colorway of the block, and then underneath it you'll have the numbering of what color goes where for each one of these blocks. And you can see that I think there were 8 different colorways, 8 different blocks, because we've got 2 stems. So these are just guides of colors of what you can do on them, so you can do it how you choose. And then the gorgeous Becky has put loads of pictures in of different ways to make it and how to do it, and Becky is just absolutely phenomenal in doing all of that and getting that just gorgeous. And then on the back page you've got this template on the back page here. Sorry, Nats.
Oh, sorry. What am I doing? What there?
So on the back page you've got this template which is going to be needed in order to make the base of your bag here. So it's just important to make sure that the back page is there. Now we have already tested this and it is already printing at 1 inch. And all you'll see is there's a 1 inch square in the corner. Just make sure you take it and that it works to 1 inch. That is exactly 1 inch on there. Please just use 2 rulers if you're ever so slightly out, because sometimes rulers are at different calibrations and there isn't a problem with it. So that is going to be the colours for all the flowers, and then you're going to have 1.5 meters of Osnaburg. Now I hadn't used Osnaburg until I went to Sewing Street, and then I didn't use it, I just sold it on air, but it is absolutely gorgeous. It's so nice to work with.
It really is.
And it's got a gorgeous soft feel to it, but it's slightly thicker than your cotton. Not a lot, it's ever so slightly thicker. So when you do the pressing on this, just make sure that you're a little bit firmer with your pressing on the Osnaburg, but not too firm that you're actually showing your stitching. So that's just something to bear in mind, that you do need to be forceful with it, but not so that your stitches are showing. So the blocks that I'm going to make for you today, I'm going to do the pot at the bottom, I'm going to do my stem, and I'm going to do my flower. Now, every one of us has got a stash bag somewhere. May I steal that?
Oh, please do.
So,
yeah.
I have just stolen from Natasha this little piece of fabric over here, and the reason I'm showing it to you there, can we do, yep. You see that you've got that there. You can take your piece and you can line that up. If you've got a light box or a window, sorry, I'm just going to move that for now. I want my honey pot, I want my honeycomb in the middle. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to line that up over here. Perfect. And you can fussy cut that out. So I've got that nice and perfectly lined up there. And you just then pin that into place. Okay, I'm not going to start with a pot. I'm just putting that in place now, so when I come to do it, it'll work from there. Right, so this is what I mean, is that with these pieces, you do not need a huge piece of fabric. You can see that that's just a 2.5 inch piece of fabric that you're going to use for that. And you can fussy cut them into place however you choose. So these blocks are quite small, but it's just so easy to be able to use your stash and get these different blocks how you want them to be in whatever colorway. But equally, if you're getting the kit, you're also going to get this wonderful, you can see that gold shining in that pink neon, and it just works so, so beautifully with all of that. So
Now that is actually an elasticated ribbon.
yes,
Can we use just plain ribbon if
that's a
we've
Becky
got
question.
Becky? She's here. She is here because she's just gone. Yay! There's my pink. Anyone would think you like pink, Becky? I'm going to ask that to you, Becky. That is my question, and hopefully she's still watching.
Now, when people ask about what sizes to cut everything,
Yeah.
so my block here is a 2.5 inch block. Okay, that's 2.5 inches. So you'll see this piece that I'm cutting here is a strip. I'm going to cut that at about, that's about 1.5 inches, just over 1.5 inches, so that I've got loads of room when I do my stem over there. And then I put my block in the middle, and then I just cut like that. So you can see it's really precise. It's just bigger than the block that I'm cutting. The bits of the Osnaburg that I'm using, because I know that I need 2 pieces of that, I've cut my Osnaburg at 3.5 inches. Let me just double check. It's 3 3/4 inches. So I'm just doing it, I just want it to be big enough that it will fit. And I'd rather cut it bigger and have offcuts than not have cut it big enough and not have enough.
Yeah, okay. Becky
So-
says, yes, you can use ribbon, just use 1/2 inch plus wide ribbon. Well, I think actually most of the beautiful Renaissance ribbons that we've got are more than that.
Perfect.
And they would just look stunning on here.
They really will.
They really will. They
Now, as
really
well,
will.
I've used a pink ribbon because I just loved this ribbon, and Becky's used the binding in this gorgeous soft pink. Now, if you were going to use a blue ribbon like one of the Cafe ones, or a Tula one, or a green, or whichever colour, you can then look, if you bought the kit, to using a different colour binding, because you've got 10 different colours to choose from.
Go with the colour
Because
that you love, yeah.
you've moved it. What did you do with your 60-degree Tula?
Who knows? Who knows? It could
Because
be
this
anywhere.
this green will go nicely with the new Curioso and Curioso.
Oh yeah.
So that would work really well on that. Now, all of you who've never done FPP, could I have your attention, please? First things first. You get your FPP page. This is the right side of your page. This
Do you want to show that close? Show that close. Go.
This is
go
the
close.
right side of your page. It's the right side because it's got writing on it. So the wrong side will be the piece that doesn't have writing on.
Okay.
Okay?
Yeah.
Now, we're going
good
to
with that.
take one of your little pens over here, and I'm going to put a little cross in the corner over here. I'm going to put a little pink mark in the corner. The reason being is we're going to say, because it's got that little pink piece there, that little pink piece where my thumb is, that's the right side of your fabric. So if you're using a pattern fabric like that, that's the right side of your fabric. If your fabric doesn't have a front or a back, I'm just making this be the corner. So this is the right side of your fabric. So when you're putting these together, the right side of your paper and the right side of your fabric are always pointing out, but the wrong side of your fabric is always on the wrong side of your paper.
Okay.
Okay, so for the first piece, just pin that into place and pin it from the place where, from the right side. Okay, so this is the right side of my fabric here, because you can see the little pink mark. This is the right side of your paper. So the wrong side of your fabric and the wrong side of your paper are together. Okay, so it's paint by numbers really, it's stitch by numbers, and you're going to go from number 1 to number 2. So we're going to stitch along that number A1, A2 line there. So what I do is, once I've got these together, just flicking this over, sorry, you're going to fold on the stitch line that you're going to be stitching on. Now, why that's important is if you look there, you can see I know that's going to be my stitch line. Okay, so when you look at this now, I know this piece of fabric is staying because that's my A1 piece over there. So I know that's staying. I know this is my stitch line, which means my raw edge section is going to be here. So what I do when I'm doing this is I take my green. Now, this is the right side of my fabric, so you've always got right side of fabric to right side of fabric. So if I put this back over here, sorry Nats. So this bit here is the right side of my fabric. I'm putting that to the right side of my fabric there. Does that make sense? Mm-hmm. And then what I do is I fold that back on the stitch line, because my stitch line I've already folded in, and I check that I've got enough to go past the A2, A3 line. And I definitely do. That's why you cut your piece that little bit bigger. So I've just folded on there. You can see I've just pressed on that stitch line there, and I fold that over, and I'm ready to now stitch on that line. Did that make a little bit more sense to you?
Total sense. Yeah, for the first time. Not
I know what you mean.
Not that that's the first time you've ever made sense to me. The first time. Not that. Oh
Well, you
my
keep
God,
inviting
stop
me back, so I must be
talking.
doing something right.
I know.
Now,
Gosh.
at this point, pardon me, try talking on your own for an hour and 54 minutes and see how you go. What you do now is, if your needle moves on your machine like mine does, put your needle back into the center position and you take your stitch length down to 1.5. Again, I said earlier that when you're doing your stitch length, you need to be able to stitch through the fabric, through the paper, and the paper still holds together, and you're going 1 millimeter bigger than when the paper actually falls apart once you've stitched it. It just makes your life easier when you're tearing it apart. And you just sew down that A1, A2 line.
Nice.
And I always stitch a little bit past my stitch length.
Yeah,
you
why
can
is
see.
that? Why?
Well, the reason is that if you stitch on the exact stitch line,
On the line?
you might actually, you might be 1 or 2 stitches in. So when you stitch over the next bit, your seam may not get caught. So I always do it that way. Now, as you all know, I am a very lazy quilter. I want as few steps as possible. And with these, you'll always end up with threads. So I always fold my threads that side of where I'm going to be cutting. So I've done my stitch line there. I make sure that all the pieces of fabric I want to keep and all the paper is underneath my stitch line. So this bit over here, I'm going to trim away. So I take that, I take my 1/4 inch ruler, and I then just trim that across. You can use the add a 1/4 ruler as well.
Because we've got it back in stock.
Brilliant.
Just for you guys.
All you do then is you bang your 1/4 inch, add a 1/4 inch up here against your papers, and that works just as well.
We
if
got it
not
back by
better.
popular demand.
Rude not to, really.
Let
So
me
now
tell
you're at
you.
that point. I set my seam, so I just hold the iron on it for 2 or 3 seconds. And then all I do now is I just gently take the nose of my iron and I press that back ever so slightly. You can see I'm just doing that ever so slightly there. And then I hold my iron in place. I'm not pulling it, I'm not pushing it. You just want there to be that perfect little crease over here. If you can go into the close-up.
Oh, yeah,
Thank
yeah,
you,
yeah.
ma'am. You can see that I've got that perfect crease over there. You can't see any stitches, but equally you haven't got an overhang of the fabric there. So that is your first stitch line on there. The next one we're going to do is the A2, A3 line over there. So I take the fabric back there and I fold on the A2, A3 line. So exactly like we've done before, we know that's staying, we know that's staying, we know that this bit over here, past the stitch line, is our raw edge that's going to be left over. So I take this, which I know will be my raw edge, I fold on the stitch line, and I can see I've got more than enough fabric to cover it. And again, right side of my fabric to right side of my fabric over there. And all I'm going to do now is stitch down that line. This is one of the nice blocks that you can do because it is only 2 seams and you will make 2 of these per 3 flower block. But the good thing is that if you want to change it, you've got all the blocks in the pattern. You can then go and do whatever fabric, whichever patterns you'd like. You can have the flowers with the stems on their own. You never have to do a stem with leaves, or you can do the stems with leaves the whole way around. It's entirely your choice. Again, everything I want to keep goes under my ruler. Everything I'm getting rid of is over here, and I just simply trim down that line. And when you get good at it, you'll see that you'll only have that tiny little bit left on the end there. And exactly like that, you then open this up and you just press that little bit back like we have before. I always set my seam first, and then I just use the nose of my iron to push that out as flat as it'll go.
Perfect.
Without showing your stitches. Now, with you using the Osnaburg, you are going to go through your rotary cutter a little bit faster than you would with normal fabric. You will find as you're doing this, change your blade as often as you can. It just makes your life so much easier than hanging on trying to clutch for that to work. So what you do now is you can now trim these pieces down. and being consistent all the way around your block as to how big you're cutting it. And these are on all 3 pieces of the quilt, of these blocks. You need to be consistent with the gap that you're leaving past your 1/4 inch seam line. And then once you trim that section off there, you have got your very first FPP block done.
That's amazing. That's
So
amazing.
if you're doing it as per the pattern, you're going to make 8 of these.
Okay.
So if
Well,
you're
do you
doing
know
it
what?
per
And
the
that's
pattern.
quite an easy one to
And it is a
start
nice
with,
one to
isn't
do. It
Yeah,
really
yeah.
is. Now, the next easy one to do is actually this block, because you need to just do 3 seams rather than 2 seams. And you can see I've stolen so much of Natasha's fabric there.
Steady
just
on, I'll be billing
tiny,
you for that.
tiny pieces. And the thing is, this
I
little
won't
piece
be.
will be enough for the hexagons that you were cutting the other day as well. So I'm popping that right back where I found it. Oh, there's Tilda here as well.
I know there's Tilda Bear. I know.
Can't look at
You are
anything
like
in
a
here.
little fabric magpie, aren't
Yep.
you?
I don't know what you're talking about. I don't know what you're talking about. Now, exactly the same thing here. The right side of your fabric and the right side of your paper are on the outside. And then when you come to put these together, you're going to fold on the stitch line that you're going to be sewing along, so you know where your seam is. And then that bit's staying, this bit's going. So I take the raw edge of my piece. Now for this section, you can see how tiny that little A1 section is there.
Gosh, yeah.
This piece that I'm using is 2.5 inches by 3.75. So this is a lot bigger than what you need, but that's why I don't put the sizing for the FPP in, only because you will figure out as you go along. I always say make it at least 3 times bigger than what you think you need, because whatever you've got left over, you will use in other sections of the flowers
Yeah,
and
this
everything.
is why you need a nice big scrap bag.
Exactly.
It's scrap big, isn't it? So.
But even on this, I'm going to show you, because the
Okay.
piece I'm about to cut off, I'm going to use in my flower over here.
Nice. Nothing
So-
gets wasted.
Nothing gets wasted on FPP.
And that's when you get your scrap bags from me. If you've gone for any of the scrap bags, you know, I always put big pieces in there. There'll always be really big usable pieces in there. But also, you know, I do throw in little bits as well. And you might look and go, oh, God. But actually, I do it for this. I do it for this because that little tiny bit that we can't bear to throw away of a Lisa Chandler fabric or something like that. It's going to be amazing in this.
Exactly.
Talking of Lisa Chandler fabrics, whilst we have been on the show, I have just had notification that I have a massive delivery of her fabrics on their way. They are at the airport, ready to come.
Now, I want to talk to you about this.
Hang on, because I have to tell you, some of these fabrics, Lisa doesn't even have yet.
Oh my God, that's hysterical.
Some of these are the new colorways, and we're getting them before Lisa.
Is that at the airport now?
Yeah.
Shall I go and pick it up and bring it back?
I mean, you know, if you want
No,
to.
like, it'd
Do you
be
wanna-
rude not to, really.
Do you want to take the fun bus with you?
Oh my God, that'll be amazing.
Yeah.
Oh, that'd be really good, because I want to do a stack and whack.
Beautiful.
That would be amazing on her
Okay,
new,
well,
new
then you can
colorways.
do
We
that
need
then.
to sort that.
So
So all I'm doing now is exactly the same as before. I'm folding on the next stitch line,
Yep.
right sides together, and I'm sewing down that line now. Sorry, you can carry on now.
Well, no, I'm just thinking if you're going to do that, we could take the horse box, load it up with fabric, and then clearly the business needs to buy the horse box. Yeah,
Obviously.
there you go.
What do you mean the business doesn't own the horse box already?
Well, you know. And also, gosh, while I've been sitting here as well, you see, this is what happens on Mondays. Mondays are always crazy because I get anything that's imports and stuff like that are phenomenal. And I cannot wait to show you what we've got coming up for next Monday, because that's just arrived. That is sitting at East Midlands
Next
Airport.
Monday.
Yeah,
But that's bank holiday.
I know.
That's the surprise.
I know.
Oh,
I
so
know.
exactly what I've done before. I'm trimming off everything that's left over, and then I just press that
Oh, look
bit
at
back.
that. That's going to be great. Yeah. Really beautiful stuff coming in. Not necessarily fabric, not necessarily what you would associate with this designer that's coming in.
That sounds terrible.
I'm just...
Oh, look, a bottle of champagne.
I'm going to give you a hint. I'm going to give you a few hints and see if you can guess. Let's play that game
Oh, God.
with everybody else.
Hang on,
Okay.
before we do that,
Yeah.
do we think that gold,
Yep.
or do we think...
I mean, you know,
additional
Becky's going to say
fabrics?
pink, isn't
Of
she?
course she
Because,
is.
yeah, go pink, please.
Well, Becky won't be
because
watching still, will she?
She's been watching.
What do we think that orange?
She's trusted you with her pattern.
What do you think of
Of
that?
course she's watching. Ooh, I quite like that
I quite
too.
like that.
It's all good. It's all good. There's no wrong answer here, I don't think.
Now, girls and boys, always keep these away from when you're cutting fabric. You can
Oh.
ask me how I know.
Oh. If only you had like a sewing machine that you could stitch it back together with.
Doesn't help when you got to cut the bloody thing in half.
Oh yeah, no, okay, fair enough. Oh, Becky says, no, not orange.
Oh, you mean like this, Becky? Oh.
She says, what are you doing? These are in shouty capitals. Shouty,
Sorry, Becky, did you say something?
like proper
Sorry,
shouty,
Becky,
shouty.
did you say something?
Becky, what would you have chosen?
Pink. As you said that, she said the same thing as well. I know she did.
Yeah.
So you fold that back
Oh, poor Becky.
with the gorgeous orange fabric there, which you know Becky just adores.
In shouty capitals.
Trim everything off.
friending.
Now, what I will say to you is, as you get better at this, and as you get more, you will end up with tiny little slithers like that. But if you're still starting out, please cut your fabric bigger, because I'll show you here what'll happen. Oh my God, that looks really good. I'm glad I chose the orange there.
I've just said, what would you have chosen? She's gone pink, Natasha.
Obviously. Now,
Was
what
exactly the reply,
Exactly.
with a little eye roll emoji, like
Obviously.
obviously.
So when I said to you that as you're starting out, you will then pick bigger pieces, this is the biggest piece that you would pick out. And then when you trim that off, you're going to have all of that left over. And then equally on these sides over here, even though you've cut these so much bigger, you'll have all of that left over. So when I come to do this flower, I then can put that in this corner over here.
Oh, nice, yeah.
So you are going to be wasting in your mind, it's wasting fabric, but the better you get at this, the more you will see that this can go there. You will easily be able to use the fabric up as you go along. But when you're starting out, just be kind to yourself and just use as big a piece of fabric as you can. It's just important for you to get the practice on doing it.
But this is why
Oh, I
you have
like it.
so much extra.
So that is now going to go there, because these two blocks go together. Now, when you sew these together, it is really important. Oh, I can smell flowers. Oh, that's lovely smell. That's lovely. When you do this, please put the backs together first and check that the letters are the right way round.
You know what it is?
Mm?
It's the starch savvy. And every time you're pressing on the
that's
mat,
what it is,
I
it's
spilt a
coming
whole
up.
load on my pressing mat.
Fabulous.
So, yeah.
These are amazing, and you gave me one of these the
I
other
did
day.
give you one of these because you
They
needed
are
to see how
so
brilliant
good.
they are. I know.
Love it.
And what
So-
you'll find is that you won't want to use anything else to press
No.
on, because they give you such a crisp.
really do.
Such crisp. I had to use my ironing board the other day. I was devastated. It just wasn't as good. Just was not as good.
So when you make sure that your numbers and your letters are going the same way round, you then put them together like that. Now, because you've trimmed these the same all the way round, you're then going to put those together and then stitch along that stitch line over there.
Nice.
And if you've done it correctly, when you press these, when you stitch these together, they will be on the exact same line.
So Geraldine says, so you're cutting to the lines on the right side.
Yes.
You've got it, Geraldine. You've got it. By Jove, she's got it.
And then, and I'm not even going to look, you can see my stitch line, it's got that is exactly what you want there.
Perfect.
And this bit's a little bit below. And you know what? Again, I'm giving up quilting. I'm never going to carry on. Who do I send my stash to?
Me. I'll get an
Now
extra
again,
warehouse.
with
It's
these,
fine.
you'd need it. When you've done this, you then just press that open. I always press this open because in this section over here, you've got 4 if you're doing it this way, you've got 5 pieces of fabric, but you can have 5 pieces of fabric on each piece, and it does add up. So literally just hold your iron down on it. Don't move it around. You can see I've not moved anything. You pick that up and it's done. There you go. So you've got the start of your piece.
Can we
there.
go a close up on that so that Becky can
Absolutely.
appreciate the orange? I mean, the beautiful work that
But
you've
you
done
can
there.
see just how
Oh,
tiny
look
that
how
little piece of fussy
beautifully.
cutting that was.
Yeah, with the heart. Do you know what? I hadn't noticed the heart
Yeah.
until then.
But what's so good about this is that you can fussy cut out these amazing pieces. All I would say to you is that when you come to the bottom, remember you've got a 1/4 of an inch seam. And if I was a little bit cleverer, I would have actually pulled that up by about 1/8 of an inch up so that the line would have ended. But I'm not that bothered on it. But you can see just using these all the way along. And you don't use a lot. So if we've got the whole bag as itself, you can see we've got loads of...
Well, you could see if I hadn't
Sorry.
just changed the camera angle.
You can see you've got loads of these pots as you go around. So if you've got a little collection of this, you can put these in there and go all the way around doing the different collections. And you can see the scale of your fabric will change on how you do it, because it's just the most beautifully designed bag in that way that all of your fabrics would work really well. So when you had these the Lewis and Irene fabric that we used earlier, bear with.
Right, and you have little scraps.
And you've got all of these beautiful flowers over here, you can see that by putting them... Can you
Gosh,
switch?
that would be rather lovely.
Can you
Oh,
switch the-
sorry, yeah.
Thank you. So you can see by using that, when you're making this tiny flower over here, you can fussy cut the dragonfly onto this
Amazing.
leaf. And on this side, you can try and get it on there. So it's one of those ones, and I think what's important about these is I know people get worried about the cost and things, but with patterns like this, it's a good one to learn on, and it's a good one to practice on. And then when you've got these gorgeous, gorgeous fabrics that go with it, in different collections, you can then add to them as you go along. Now, what colour tulip would you like?
It's got to be pink, hasn't it?
Oh, do you want light pink, bright pink, or cerise?
Can I have 2 pinks?
You can. Can you? I don't think. Do you
I
think it
don't
would
know
work?
With the tulips, it's been done in 2 pinks.
So no, but what colours do you want? You can do it any colour you like.
Well, I'm gonna stick with Becky on it. I'm gonna be Team Becky for a minute.
Team Becky for this
And
one.
go.
Well,
and
shall we
Becky-
compromise and do this as the stem?
Yeah, go on then.
All right. So that's a different one
As
there.
the stem.
Sorry, as the stamen
Oh,
thingy there.
okay, yeah.
Okay. So now we've got a complicated
Those
one.
nuns didn't teach you biology, did they? Eh?
To be fair, my biology teacher was so attractive, I didn't pay any attention at all. So that is what we're doing now. So we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 seams on this one. So the first thing you're going to do is, when you've got this many colours, take this and write on here, per the pattern, what colour goes where. It's really, really important that you do this. I'm going to use your little pencil over here.
You do it.
Oh, it's a pen. I'm not going to use a pen because pens can transfer.
Becky says, yes, see, Natasha, John, see, Natasha knows me, John. Look, Becky, I'm gonna say something that
Becky.
hopefully will make you feel better. When one of the first interviews that I did with Kate, well, maybe it was like the second interview or something, and I had a pink top and I had orange shoes, and I just said, oh, do you think the orange shoes work? And he just looked at me, put a hand on my arm, and he said, Natasha, orange is pink. So there you go. Hopefully that will make you feel better, Becky. I'm trying.
It won't.
I'm trying.
It won't. Now, remember we had all the scrap left over from there? I'm going to show you how you're going to use this, because people always think, oh, you never use your scrap. So this came from when I trimmed it down from here. Okay?
Okay.
So all I'm going to do there is I'm going to line this up, and I know that my A1 piece over there is going to be consistent. Now, I don't use pins at all in FPP, but because I'm trying to teach you how to do it, I will. No doubt I will stab myself and bleed everywhere.
And
So
it'll all be our fault.
bear with, it's definitely, no, then it's a Becky's problem. That's a Becky problem.
Whereas this could going back to
Can
Becky.
I just ask, it has gotten quite Lord of the Rings out there.
I know, right?
Oh gosh, there comes the rain. Yay. So what I've done now is I've folded on the stitch line, and we've agreed we're going to use this purpley pink over here. So this piece of the fabric is staying. This is my raw edge. I take my raw edge of my purpley colour over there, and I fold that back to check if it's going to work. This is a little bit too far over there for my liking, so I just slide that up a little bit. And there we go. I am happy with that. So you open that up, and then you stitch on the A1, A2 line there. Now, if you're buying this pattern, you will start off by doing all of your stems. Then you will do your pots number 1 and number 3. Reason being is you only have 3 or 4 stitches, 3 or 4 stitch lines in that, and it just builds your confidence up as you go. Then I would suggest you start with the flower that I'm doing now, or the tulip bud. So you'll just decide which one you work better with. All I'm doing now is everything I want to keep goes on that side of the ruler. I line my 1/4 inch line up on the ruler, or you'll add a 1/4 ruler, and you just trim off all of the excess over here. And then exactly like before, set your seam, roll your fabric back, use the nose of your iron, and just get that pressed down as easily as you can. It's a proper grey day out there, isn't it?
That's why it's a sewing day. It's not a grey day, it's a sewing day. It's a sewing day. And a cake day. Would it be rude to have another piece of cake? I'm so hungry.
And I wonder if we say it loud enough, whether Gemma will bring us, did you want the carrot cake, or did you want the Victoria sponge, or did you want the toffee?
I've already had the toffee. It was really good.
The toffee is very good. I'm assuming that is your husband because he's back.
I don't know.
Otherwise, he's really helpful in just bringing bits in.
Burglar.
I like it.
Is he bringing stuff in?
He's bringing stuff in.
Is there fabric?
No. Hello.
What have
He's
you got,
shaking his head going, no, it's no fabric.
No fabric? Oh.
Right, now, this bit is a bit more tricky. So one of the trickiest things with FPP is angles. Okay, now when you're doing the angles, so you can see I've sewn that one on. Now I'm doing an angle over here. Now, 2 things you have got to remember and put this in your brain forever and ever, amen. Seam allowances. If you're putting an angle in, you have to make sure you're in your seam allowances. Cut a bigger piece of fabric. What have I said? Come on, Natasha.
Cut a bigger piece of fabric.
There you go. Natasha, what do you have to do?
Cut a bigger piece of fabric.
Right, so I'm going to try and use this, and if it goes wrong, every one of you are going to say...
Cut a bigger piece of fabric.
There you go. So when this goes wrong, it's because you haven't cut a big enough piece of fabric. And I can hear Sylvia going, she did this over the weekend, and she's like, I think that'll work. And she stitched it in, and as she picked it up, she said, John told me to cut a bigger piece of fabric. He was right. And I'm like, sorry? I'm right. What?
Hey, John, this will make you laugh.
Doesn't
So
happen
lovely
often.
Ali says, must tell you, Natasha, I sent Paul to get some bedding plants the other day with instructions on what colours I wanted. Naturally, for Paul, he came home with every colour under the sun. As I pointed out, he retorts, but Kay Fassett says any colour goes with any colour. I didn't realise he'd been paying attention to your interview.
Oh,
I have created a monster.
I'm so proud. I'm so proud.
I'm so proud. And he's so right. And it's
Cheers.
okay.
He is.
It's okay. You're going to have a beautiful garden.
Do you know, I think that my doing the only, I think that was that was the highlight. Him and meeting Jenny Doan were the highlights of my quilting career.
Oh.
No offence, you know what I mean.
Yeah. All taken.
It was her face as I said that. It was like, oh crap.
It's fine. It's fine.
But you've been to his studio. You know what I mean. It's just
Yeah.
incredible.
No, it is. It's beautiful.
It's incredible.
Really beautiful.
And in the heart of London for that gorgeous little existence there.
Whilst also being very lived in.
Very.
That's the beautiful thing about it. Julia's got cake because it's her hubby's birthday.
Oh, happy birthday.
So my 2-year-old thinks it's her birthday every day.
Quite right.
Yeah. My husband obviously has a catering company. It's not obvious for anyone that doesn't know. Has a catering company and is crazy busy now catering people's weddings. So he rocks up and on, because I was on my course on Friday, Emily had to go with him. So he rocks up at this wedding where he's doing the pizzas for the evening event and whatnot. And of course, Emily sees the balloons. And it's my birthday, Daddy. It's like, Still not your birthday.
Yes, darling.
Still not your birthday. But they're birthday balloons. She's sitting in the car going, she was so excited because of these birthday balloons. Yeah, Becky says, what about meeting me, John? Well, on Zoom. It's a highlight. She says, I'm a highlight.
I haven't met Becky. That's the weirdest thing in the entire world, is that Becky and I have actually not physically met each other. I'm hopefully meeting Becky's very dear friend and my new friend Laura today, but I'm meeting Laura before I meet Becky.
Oh, Sue says, Becky Alexander Frost, you're a highlight to anyone. Do you know one of my favourite things about Becky are her photos that she puts on Facebook?
Oh my God, I love it.
Like
That
her
one with her
excited
hugging
face
the
photos.
completely. No, my favourite thing about Becky is whenever you do, because all the classes and everything, I said, and all of you know the amazing Becky Alexander Frost, and she goes, hi, and that's it. She's hi. It's just Becky.
Because she's not
just Becky.
big-headed about what
No.
she does. She just does what she does and does it blinking brilliantly. You know. And now you get to work with her. And now you at home get to have the benefit of John and Becky.
And all I say is I won't work with everybody.
No, you are fussy. Just in case people
Me?
hadn't realised.
So all I've done now is I've folded on the line between A3 and A4, and I'm stitching all the way down there. Does Jane know that there's cake?
Yeah. Well, I mean, yeah.
Jane, did you know there's cake? Did you know there's cake? Okay, cool. Have you had cake?
Yes, I've eaten my body weight in cake.
She's
Wonderful.
eating her body weight in cake. Good on you, Jane. Leave some for us.
Love it. And just like before, I'm trimming off all the little bits of extra. I'm setting my seam and rotating that back.
So this weekend, John, I've been on a course, and it's
What have you been doing?
13 hours of being on a course. I've done the Landmark Forum,
Right.
which is phenomenal, and I cannot highly recommend it enough. It's transformational. It's just been the best thing. And the funny thing, I mean, it's been 13 hours for the last 3 days sat in front of a computer screen on
Oh my
Zoom
gosh.
meetings. Yeah, no, it's been a hardcore. But I didn't realise how much I snack throughout the day, because you're there on the Zoom, and if you stop your video or anything, they really come at you. So I was like, right, okay. I did it a couple of times and came back to my computer with a meeting saying, you know, the host has asked you to start your video again. I'm like, oh, I'm snacking, and I hadn't realised for 3 days just
love
how
it.
much I would normally snack. I do like a snack. I'm like Scooby-Doo.
Won't be long, don't worry. We're almost done. We're almost done. Natasha's getting a bit chompsy over there. And now you fold that back
Angry.
again. No, chompsy.
My husband, whenever we go on any kind, he knows me too well, he will always put snacks in the glove box if we're going on a long journey, because he knows I get hungry.
Now in South Africa, we call it pat kos, which is road food.
Perfect.
Pat kos. So my husband knows if he hasn't put pat kos in the car, we have to stop.
Well, I think that's fair enough. I think that's absolutely fair enough. Susan says, I just love Becky, an amazing lady. Yes.
She is lovely.
And Geraldine says, Becky has the most amazing smile and giggle. Yes.
Giggle, definitely.
Yes.
But what most people don't know about Becky,
Yes.
phenomenal taste in TikToks. We TikTok each other until the wee hours of the morning.
I still don't really understand TikTok. But Susan's got custard cream biscuits. Have you seen the really big custard cream biscuits that you can get?
No, my
They're
husband
like
loves
mega-sized
custard
custard cream biscuits, and they are just the
Ooh.
nicest. They're like the size of 5 all in one. Jennifer says, hi Natasha, just going to put in an order, but what grid did you use for the triangles, etc. you were making? Shine on Facebook yesterday. Making up the Tula stuff yesterday. That is, I don't know if I've just ordered them. They will be on the website for tomorrow. If I don't know if Gemma will load them for today, but it's the 60-degree diamond ruler. So that's what we will be working with tomorrow. Oh, Becky's going out for cake after the show. That's fair play.
Becky's what after the show?
Going out for cake.
Are you coming to meet Laura and I?
Well, I mean, that would be awesome.
Oh my
wouldn't
God, that would be amazing.
it? If she just, you know, like TikTok
Pitched up.
Yep.
Love it.
Yeah. Elizabeth says, I love training courses. They make me buzz. And custard creams. Both. Both.
You've got very noisy birds here. It's
Yeah, I'm
lovely.
sorry about that.
Don't be
I'll
sorry, I
have a
think it's
word.
wonderful.
I'll be like, oi, birds. Shh. Do you know, actually, Jane said this to me the other day. Was it Friday morning? I can't remember. And she said
Stitchy
one
Witchy
of-
Wednesday.
No, no, it can't have been Friday. She wasn't here Friday. Maybe it was Wednesday. And she just said to me, one of her favourite things about coming here is in the early mornings when we're, you know, in the cutting room and it looks out over greenery. She's like,
gorgeous.
I love the sound of your birds. I mean, they're not my birds, they're just birds.
They are
They're
your
just
birds.
birds in the garden. But
They're in your garden. They're your birds.
my birds.
Mine.
Yeah, you've been around Emily too long. Mine.
No, darling. She learnt it from me.
Okay, yeah.
Mine.
Susan says, don't tell me they do giant custard creams. They do.
No, don't do that.
Oh,
this-
she said her Jack Russell will be drooling, as they're
Well-
her favourite as well.
we normally do our weekly shop at M&S, and we had a voucher for M&S to get a certain amount of money off whatever we were spending. And then we realised it had expired the day before, so we were a bit like, oh, okay. And I very rarely find, I'm never really near an Aldi because there isn't one near us. But where our new house is, there's a huge one. So we thought, oh, let's go to Aldi, let's go to Aldi. So we went and got the custard creams at Aldi because Andrew is a huge fan of custard creams. Very disappointed. He's a bit of a custard cream snob.
Oh,
He
dear,
didn't
they're
like
not up
custard
to
creams
par.
from Aldi. Didn't like it. He said they weren't as. He said they're all right if you dunk them in tea. He said then they're okay, but he's a bit of a custard cream
Oh
snob
no!
that
So we
way.
used to get these from the farm shop. These custard creams, they're massive.
Oh,
I
must
will.
get
I will
those.
hunt some out for next time you're here.
Thank you.
Becky says no. Of course she's not coming to meet you. She said because
Yeah, that's a lie.
you've been defriended. Remember, because you went with orange and not pink.
Oh, okay.
So I'm
See you
sure.
at 3.
I'm sure this can all be rectified.
What about a pink flower? Does that get me some points?
Yeah, but
It's
I
actually-
chose it.
It was Natasha's point, wasn't it?
I chose it. No, you
So
cannot
there
get points
we have-
vicariously through me.
Yes, I can. Of course I
Okay,
can.
yeah, no,
of course I can. So that is
Beautiful.
on the bag. This is the one over here, and you
God, I
can
love
see
that
that that's a
orange. I mean-
slightly changed. The orange works. She can dislike it as much as she likes. The orange works. And there you go. And then all you're doing next is exactly like before. You put those one on top of the other.
And when you've stitched it, do you press it open?
Yes.
Yes, I have been listening. See, I was listening.
Now, the other thing is do not take the papers out until you are finished.
Yes. And then get a
Because-
really good pair of tweezers to get into all those little nibbly
Yep.
bits.
Or if you have an OCD husband who loves doing things like that, just give it to him. I couldn't possibly tell you how I know that. Now, one thing also to just remember,
Yeah,
in
that's
order
not
to
my
make your
husband.
life a lot easier, is where's your gorgeous... These aren't them, but these are lovely as well. You still got those kits?
Yeah.
God, they're so
Well,
good.
the scissor kits,
They're so
the
good.
Inspire scissor kits. Do you know what? Yes, I love them a lot. And those snips are phenomenal. Have you noticed, actually, those snips, they also curve up, so you don't cut into
I know.
your fabric. And also, I've been using them actually as seam rippers as well. And
Yeah, they're
I
very good for
can't
seam
find
rippers.
my
Ow.
stiletto tool, so I'm very upset.
Stiletto tool, what did you do? It wasn't me.
Becky says, sorry, John, not today. I'm waiting for wood to arrive. I mean, if you're waiting for wood, you're waiting for wood, right? You know.
How much wood does a woodchuck chuck? How much wood does a Becky Becky book?
We'll find out.
Becky's redoing her sewing area. Lucky girl.
Well, you're going to have a whole new sewing area in
I
your
bought the
house.
wallpaper this morning. I was so excited.
Well, you're going to have walls?
No, you can't. You must see the wallpaper.
Yeah, I
It
know,
is
but
gorgeous.
John, are you seriously telling me you're not going to have 8 gazillion?
I've got a garage as well. We see. I've got a bit mad. Really, we've discussed this at length, and you know there's only one, the Kim Kardashian garage, which isn't actually a garage. It's just a series of cupboards to put stuff in.
I don't watch the Kardashians, so is that what you're having?
That's what we're having.
Amazing.
Series of cupboards that go all the way around the room. But that's why there's only space for a tiny little Fiat 500 rather than a big Bentley or something. So, ladies and gentlemen, that is how you do your little baby blocks.
That's fabulous.
And
Absolutely
Becky, you
fabulous.
cannot deny that looks amazing.
Jennifer wants to know how easy the bag is then to make.
That's a Becky problem.
Okay.
Sorry. That's a Becky problem. But I will say that if you have any questions about bags to make, Becky is absolutely phenomenal. And lick bag. We are going to do a free sew along for the lick bag, and I think we're going to be trying to do little YouTube videos on helping people on how to make all the bags as we go along, because we're aware that they are a bit of an investment on it. We don't want you to be having to pay for classes as well. So the 15th of June will be the first section of the lick bag as a sew along. I'll be doing the actual lick section on it, and then Becky will be doing the outer and the inner for 2 weeks after that.
Well,
and we
maybe
have
that's
spoken
something-
about potentially doing these as well
Yeah,
going forward.
do you know what? I think that we need to have a conflab
Yeah,
and then
Making it work
pass
that
that
way.
link on to anyone that has bought
completely.
from us, so that that it's not a matter of, where do I find it? We're going to help you with that.
Because we did, there are going to be ones that we will do classes with, because they are quite complicated, and those are really technical. So they will be the odd bag that does have a class with it. We had, you very kindly sold the classes for the lick bag, not the lick bag, the Craftsy stash bag.
Yes.
And that went really, really well. It was a lovely little community group as well, and we've actually met up 2 or 3 times. And the great thing is that if you have got questions or problems, we will be able to dedicate a couple of hours going forward in order to get that done as well.
Oh, yeah,
So
it's
just
really,
let us
really
know.
generous of you. It's, it's
But
in
it's
the
just,
learning,
it's more
isn't
for
it?
me the community and the people doing it, because it's such an infectious environment to be hanging around in. It's wonderful. Infectious in a good way, unlike the horrible way we've been living of late.
Well, absolutely, absolutely. Geraldine wants to know, can you use freezer paper to trace the pattern onto, or is that a waste of freezer paper?
It's a waste of freezer
Yeah,
paper,
don't
honestly,
do it.
because freezer paper I don't find is strong enough to handle FPP. I do think that the lightest weight recyclable paper is the best one to do. You can buy FPP paper as well. Carol Doak does them, and various other people do it, but I'm
Printer paper is your friend.
cheap,
Yeah.
and I don't like wasting money on things like that.
Well, I
But,
mean,
and
you
but it
need
isn't
to
a
save
waste.
it.
It's just what works best for you.
Yeah.
Sorry, that was a very. I don't mean to disparage it in any way. It just doesn't work for me, because I just find I get a better result. What I will say is that you will need to change your rotary cutter blade a lot more, and you will need to change your needle a lot more as well.
But it's okay, because we've
So-
already established that everyone's
Exactly.
going to be changing
Have you
their
got those
needles
hundreds
after
back in
every
yet?
project. Yeah,
Perfect.
because the many needles, the 100 packs of needles are in
Perfect.
stock. Sue says, you should see John's new cocktail bar. Oops, I mean kitchen.
Well, we actually had a long conversation about my cocktail bar, because, okay, I will admit, we went and, because we've now merged both our houses into one, all the gin and the wine and the champagne, and I didn't realise how much we had. I now have, at last count, 92 bottles of gin. Not all full, not all empty, at various stages of drinking. So we have decided that we're going to have our cocktail glasses in the window, and underneath we're going to have a cocktail cabinet at the bottom of our 35-foot
I mean, I thought you were going to
kitchen.
say you were going to have a great housewarming party. That
Oh,
was
no, we
what
are.
I, that's
It's
what
the
I
Happy
heard.
Hat housewarming party, which is why this is going to be perfect. So if you're free on the 21st of August,
Yes.
put it in your diary.
Yeah,
So that would be gorgeous, because I think I'm just going to put that as a little thing on my hat.
beautiful.
This is really
Beautiful. I
beautiful.
love that you're going to wear a hat. That makes me very happy.
The
indeed.
only rule with the thing on your head, it doesn't matter what you do, it has to have a flower in it.
Oh, I thought you were going to say it has to be at a jaunty
Has to have.
action.
If I'm going to be having barman and have catered an event, you can make an effort to do that.
Okay.
That's my only rule on it.
Okay.
And it's the first time I'll have a proper party in this country. I can't wait.
Proper grown-up party.
Proper grown-up party.
Amazing. Amazing.
My
John-
husband's terrified.
Yeah, I bet he did. Elizabeth says, this has been a wonderful show. Thank
Yay,
you.
thank
Ace
you very
demo.
much.
Becky says, thank you, Natasha, for having John. It is my absolute pleasure. Absolute pleasure. Susan can't wait for the demos on the bags. She's got them all now.
Woo!
Yeah, there we go. Thank you so much. Becky also says we're going a free sew along starting 1 month's time on YouTube. We will, like I say, we'll
Yeah.
pass out that. If you guys pass it on to us, we can pass it on to everybody.
So do you want to know what we're doing next week?
Yes. Have you got it here?
No,
Oh,
no,
no.
because we've only just decided exactly what it is. Now, all of us have UFOs. Okay, agreed?
Mhm. Unfinished objects. Yep.
How many UFOs do you have, roughly? And in what state are they? Are they all over the house? Are they all everywhere?
They are in a cupboard quite close to here.
Okay.
Cupboards.
Because we have created a UFO bag.
Oh, nice.
Which will have a pocket to put your pattern in.
Yeah.
It'll have a pocket to put your thread in that you're
Oh,
using with it.
perfect.
It'll have various different sections, 2 or 3 sections to be able to put little bits in, like if you're doing a plique with it or bits and bobs.
Oh, how useful.
Notes, things like that. It's really important because your UFOs, they're normally scattered everywhere. So
true.
we're creating
True.
UFO bags.
True.
And the only thing you'll need outside of the pattern
Yeah.
is your own fabric. You
Amazing.
can use your own fabric, but we are going to be bringing some canvases in if you want it to be a little bit thicker. It will have a lining in it as well, but you won't need any NR form, so it'll be a much cheaper kit than normally because you won't need to have any NR form, but you will probably need some medium weight interfacing.
Okay, we
which
can
you've
do
got
that.
in stock as
We
well,
can
I
do that.
think.
We can do that.
Yes.
Ali says, don't tell Lo about your gin, John. She'll be moving in.
It's fine. Got to drink it with someone.
I don't know where Lo is this morning, actually. Susan says, I've enjoyed watching and had a great big laugh. Oh, no, just a great
Yay.
laugh, as well as learning lots. Thank you, Natasha and John. It is
1, 2, 3, 4. Sorry, I've just noticed the time. 1, 2, 3, 4. I get very excited with things like that.
Yeah, no,
Yeah.
it's good. It's good. John, thank you so much.
Thank you.
So, next month, that bag, and then which block?
Block 4, which is...
Does it bring in some cave? I
It's
think it
this
brings
one.
in some cave. Oh, nice.
We're bringing cave in for that one. And then block 5 is the middle one, which is FPP again.
Perfect. John, thank you so much.
Thank you for having me.
I think it's cake o'clock.
It is definitely cake.
Thank you, everybody. Take care. Have a fabulous time. I will see you tomorrow for Tula Pink and diamond quilts. Diamonds are a girl's best friend and are forever. I'm just going to
Quite right.
make all of that one thing.
So is Tula.
Yes.
So
Yes.
is
Yes.
Tula. Don't lick anyone,
No.
even if you want to.
Bye-bye.
Bye.